on OBS. Let's see if YouTube makes me press a button to start it. Oh, look, it just started. How nice is that? I believe that we are live on YouTube. Finn? Who's Finn? Flynn? Could you please
Yeah.
check to see if the audio is coming through okay?
I'm just waiting for it to kick in on YouTube.
Yep.
Here we go. It's starting now. Yeah, and the audio is coming through.
Okay, great. That's good to go. All right. Then hello and welcome to the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. Today we're going to be doing a Xenos review of all the Xenos kits of 2021, and we're so glad to have you guys joining us over on the Modern Synthesis YouTube. Okay. Hello! And today we are welcoming Bits of Bocks, who sometimes joins the stream, and he's definitely joining us today. Hello, Bocks. How you doing?
Hello. I am very well, thank you.
Great. So happy to have you along. Thanks for joining us.
No problems.
And we are meant to have Hive Fleet Moloch with us, but he has not arrived yet. So I'm gonna shoot him a message and see if maybe he missed out or something. One sec. He hasn't posted anything in our chat there, has he?
Not that I've seen.
I'll try and raise him because he might, for some reason, be mistakenly thinking that we're doing like the normal time rather than 1 hour earlier.
Well, you did say in the chat, pants optional, so maybe
maybe he's going to take his pants off. He's like, screw this. Why am I wearing pants?
I've been given the freedom for once.
Oh my god. Hey, he's the boss of an organization. He can I think he can do pants optional anytime. Yeah, so let's until we get Marco here, let's review. How has your holidays been so far? Whoever wants to start, and did you get any fun Warhammer stuff?
I got absolutely zero Warhammer stuff.
So did I.
Primarily because I didn't ask for it.
Yep.
I got myself some Warhammer stuff. Got myself a Christmas present.
What did you get? Sorry, it kind of petered out there. I missed what you got yourself.
Oh, I didn't say. I got myself Nagash.
Ooh, primarily for his spinal columns.
Almost entirely for the spinal columns.
Yeah.
I'll find a use for the rest of it.
Yep, it's I got really lucky. I think that I found them on a Bits order site like very soon after he was released, and I bought a lot of them because like Homunculus Coven, right? They're like perfect for like grotesques and stuff like that.
They're perfect for anything Tyranid or they are very, very cool bits.
Yeah, especially your Tyranids, which are amazing. Those new ones you're doing with the Necro, I want to call them Necromorphs, but they're not Necromorphs. What the hell do we call them? OCRs?
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Yeah.
It's a very convoluted name.
Well, it's
Bone
so
Boys.
they could Bone Boys, yeah. I think it's so they can trademark
Bone
it.
Boys. Yes, it's the Bone Boys, 4-armed fellas.
Yeah, they're looking really great, Tom. Like they're fantastic. They work very well as Tyranids.
It just made a lot of sense because they're the same size as a Nid Warrior and they've got 4 arms. So
now these are the Crypt whatever stalker dudes, right?
Yes.
I actually have a bag sitting over here with some in it that I was like, one day I'm going to make these into Tyranids, so I'm glad you beat me to it.
I did get a box of the infantry guys as well, though, but I've got no idea what to do with them, to be honest.
Yeah, they're really small.
In terms of turning them to termagants or something, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, they're upright, and termagants are definitely not upright.
Yeah, there's not really enough.
You made them up. Until you made them upright.
Well, you could, yeah, if you wanted like upright dudes, that's one thing. But, where the hell is Marco?
I think that's him there now.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Oh, did I summon him?
You summoned him through the warp.
Marco, did you hear me actually say where the hell is Marco?
That's exactly the first sentence I just heard.
Perfect. As you know, we cannot start this thing without our proper German quotient. We need at least one German.
I got the nicest possible shirt on today. Look.
Oh, You want to show your video? Oh, nice! You're wearing the Warp Shadow shirt. That's awesome. So no, people didn't have to share their video for this, but I have them up there if you want to share your video, if you want to be a talking head. So if you want to, oh, dude, you've got a very Jesus vibe going on. Your hair's like super long.
Yes.
You got the beard. Tiered
Yes.
Jesus has joined us.
Yes, great to me.
Also,
thank you so
Flynn
much.
Flynn was just asking if we had seen the latest episode of Boba Fett, and I see you've got. Is it Boba Fett behind you, or is it the man? Yeah, it is Boba Fett.
He's the man, and I have seen it today.
Great. Well, you guys can talk about it not right now because Tom and I have not seen it.
No problem.
Because we
No
are
need
not
to,
as rich
actually.
as you dudes with your Disney Plus.
Well, what can I say?
I steal Disney Plus from a friend.
Hi, Tom. It's nice to hear you.
Oh, god damn it. Why did I wear my Warp Shadow shirt? Guess I'm making fools of me. I'm going to have to go get it. Ah, fuck. I'm wearing a pink shirt. On brand. Oh, man. And Tom, you don't have a Warp Shadow shirt, right? So you can't upstage me. Has it still not arrived?
Yeah. Nope, not turned up yet.
God damn it. I think it's also what's that,
Here's
Marco?
for sea freight. Here's for sea freight.
No. Oh wait. Oh oh shit. Wait. I just remembered, Marco. I sent yours by boat.
By yacht?
By not by
Boom.
yacht, or else he would have a yacht right now. Oh shit. So you got my box of wonders.
Thank you so much, buddy.
I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing.
It certainly is a blessing. It will help, definitely. Thanks so much. Really awesome.
Sure. Yeah.
Just like Christmas happened again.
So Tom, speaking about like Nagash's spinal columns and stuff like that, I made that like I don't know if you remember it, homunculus coven board, and I like sculpted spines into it. It was like a fleshy mess. Anyway, I was taking it apart, and I'm like, oh man, like this thing's just taking up space. It's not easy to store. I'm just gonna get rid of this. And then I think Marco said something like, no, don't get rid of it. No, it's so good. And I was like, well, okay, then I'll just send it to you.
That's what your brain made up. I actually complimented you on the board, how much I liked it. And
Well,
then
there
your
you go.
brain said, send it to Marco, which is perfect.
Yeah, because I honestly couldn't store it, so I cracked out the spinal bits, and I sent some of the spinal bits to Marco, and maybe he can use them. The thing that I feel like, whether it's a blessing or a curse, I feel like I don't know how easily they'll be to strip. I think that the epoxy sculpt that I made them out of will survive stripping, but I don't know what's going to happen with the styrofoam. I'm assuming it'll just like dissolve or something. I don't know.
I absolutely plan to cut the styrofoam away anyway, so I don't think stripping is necessary. It's going to be fairly easy to do something with them. No problem. Thank you.
That's what I was worried. You're
so
welcome.
much.
And then the original, I also sent some bits from the old board that we did, Infestation of Cassavant Prime. So hopefully you can use those.
Absolutely awesome pieces I haven't seen in many years. Some never actually.
Did you
And
ever
it's
see
really
them?
whooping. The old Cassavant board, of course, but not the Dark Elder board.
Oh, okay, because you weren't here for the Cassavant board, but did we like show you it at Ross's or something?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I guess that's what it was. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I'm glad your shirt finally arrived. Awesome. That was actually not that slow because I sent it. Oh no, I sent it at like the mid-November.
Perfect.
So that's pretty quick.
And even Customs didn't want anything for it, which surprised me.
they figured they'd gotten you enough this year, Marco. They're like, hey buddy, it's Christmas, you can take this one, but we'll get you double for the next one.
Exactly, they have fucked me over so many times. They said, it's okay.
All right, now we got Tom's Mr. Burns icon up. There we go. Now I feel better.
I would say, Sibio Joe saying, like, does he not count as the German? Yes, you do count as the German here, seeing as you're the only one in chat.
Yes, you definitely count as a German, Symbio Joe, and we are very glad to have you. We need a German on video for quorum.
And he's also calling you out for your pronunciation of Nidvember.
What did I say Nidvember? Oh, I said I sent it towards the middle of November. Okay, right. I said it towards the middle of Nidvember. Hey, listen, I got a Nid right here. So where is he? There he is. Yeah, okay. I feel should we get started? Oh wait, you know what? My tea just boiled. Marco, tell the fine people about how your holidays went. Oh, there you go. Hear that?
Is that your tea thing?
That's my tea thing. That's how you know it's Japanese. The really annoying thing is when you do it in the middle of the night and you don't think about it and that thing goes off and you're like, Jesus Christ. What were you saying, Tom?
Just a very melodic beat.
Yeah. So, Marco, Tom was telling us that he went and bought himself Nagash for Warhammer Christmas. Did you get any models? Like, or anything dork or hobby related you can share? I'll be right back, but you guys keep talking.
No, that makes me sad.
Oh, shit.
Actually. No, I didn't get anything hobby related, actually. Just a couple. Well, to be honest, I did. Because my my girlfriend just bought me a couple of hobby tools. Do you have... In Germany, there's a shop range called €1 shops, where everything is €1. You have something similar in the UK?
Yeah, pound shops.
Poundland.
Okay. Yeah, and she bought, like, for a couple of euro, the cheapest stuff available. So that probably counts. But let's be honest, I bought so much hobby stuff last year for myself and do this anyway all the time that I wouldn't really expect anyone to give me something for Christmas. Especially as most people, the people I know, wouldn't want what to give to me anyway. How about you two?
Well, I got a sketchbook, which is a hobby, not this one, but close enough.
Okay. A special sketchbook, like something fancy?
No, not that fancy. Just like a pocket-sized one.
Okay. And let me guess, you buy your own hobby stuff too, yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't have my Warp Shadow shirt, but I have my Creature Conference apron. And I don't know if you can see it, Marco, but I've got a special little pin on this one. Oh wait, you can't see me, right? Or are you looking on YouTube?
We're looking on YouTube.
I'm looking at YouTube now.
Got one of your organization's pins on my my dork apron. Okay. So, shall we start the formal Xenos review proceedings?
Very good.
Is there anyone else out there? Is it just Symbio Joe?
Is it? Make yourself known.
Is it just us crying into the void? Yeah, if you're joining us in the chat, please let us know. Because we'd love to know if there's anyone out there other than Symbio Joe. Apparently we have 4 concurrent viewers. We may have like jumped the shark on how early we can start this thing.
I think
Maybe
it's
like...
also Marco, you're watching, I'm watching. Bocks, are you watching?
Nope.
No, so there's at least
so there's probably I don't know if it counts me because like YouTube puts it up on my screen. It's giving me a warning that we're not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, but it did give me that warning yesterday. So Symbio Joe, if you can hear us, let us know if there's any issues on your end. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Does YouTube also warn that we don't have enough visitors to the show?
Your stream is pathetic. You should just shut it down. What's that?
That's what I thought you meant as well.
No. Well, maybe that's YouTube's nice way of telling us that we have. No. Well, anyway, there you go, Symbio Joe. It's a private stream just for you. Okay, so let's start this thing off. The goal here is to review all of the Xenos releases of 2021, and Flynnhammer has very helpfully gone through and checked all of the preview Sunday posts on Warhammer Community and found us absolutely every Xenos. Like, you even got like some like limited edition Necron stuff, which I had actually forgot about, so thank you.
mainly because I got them through the year. I remembered I had them.
Oh, you got the models. Yeah, I got the Stoop guy, but I didn't get the other guy yet. I don't know if I'm gonna get that guy. He's kind of boring, but we'll talk all about that. If only I had the money to make it my private stream. Ooh, that's a little let's not go there. So, though I have this guy up, I actually wanted to start with these guys, which we're gonna go through the releases this year chronologically, but this one came out most recently. It's the re-release of the 3rd edition. Well, most of the 3rd edition box set. Like, it doesn't have the terrain and it doesn't have the rule book, but it has all of the Space Marines, the Land Speeder, and the super old first ever Dark Eldar models. What do you all think about this? Because when this came up, I was honestly like, why?
I feel quite nostalgic about it because this was the first set that me and my cousins got. Like,
Yeah.
one of the first things I painted ever was these Dark Eldar guys.
Nice.
So I'm quite nostalgic about it. I think that's quite a cute thing to do.
What color? Flynn?
Sorry?
No,
What colour?
Bocks.
No, sorry, I
What
lost
colour
my
did you paint
connection.
them? What color did you paint them in?
The Dark Eldar did them purple.
Nice.
I think I had the Dark Eldar and my cousins had the Space Marines.
Because you're the cool one.
Obviously, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I also got the Dark Eldar from this, and my brother got the Space Marines. This wasn't what we started 40k in. We started 40k in 2nd edition, but in 2nd edition we couldn't afford the starter set. So I think a friend got it, and we all like shared it. The rules rather, and then they got the models. But this was our first box that me and my brother got, and I remember going to Games Workshop store here in Toronto, like around the time this was released, and oh my god, you guys are killing me. What the hell did I even call that? Is that image 2? Okay, there we go. So I went into Games Workshop around the time that this was released, and they were painting the Dark Eldar, and they were painting them in this, not exactly this scheme, but the like hawk turquoise, whatever, scaly green, you know, like that classic Dark Eldar scheme. And I was so taken with the color. I was like, oh my god, that color is amazing. And like to this day, that's still the color that I try to do on my Tyranids, on their armor plates and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty formative for me.
Like a really contrasty teal.
Yeah, I love that color.
Mm.
So, and one of my favorite
Kinda
dudes
feel.
in this, I don't know, can I, oh no, I guess I have to go find the, oh no, it's not that guy. Where's the link to order it? Is it this? Whatever. There's one guy in there that I really love. Let's see if I can figure it out. What do you guys think about this, Flynn and Marco?
I've already ordered it.
Oh my god, look at you.
It's more because, one, I started in 4th, so I didn't get a chance to get that set.
Yeah.
I know it's missing the ruins and some of the trees and everything else, but if you actually were to try and find those Eldar models
Yeah.
themselves, they'd go for about 30 odd quid just for 10, I think.
Are you serious? I have a bag of them. I have a sack of them over there that I was just gonna throw out because I just like had like sprues and sprues of these, and I cut them out, and I was just like, what the hell am I gonna do with these?
Don't
These are
throw
worth
anything
money?
away, I love it.
Yeah, because they're out of production models. Even if they were done in a larger quantity,
Yeah.
they're not for an army of like Dark Eldar. They are worth a bit more. But if, for
Oh.
example, you had because with Tyranids, the Termagants are the same models are still in production. They're not as worth as much. But if you had any of the metal Termagants,
Yeah.
they are worth a fair bit because not in production. Not a very abundant race that people played and everything else.
Yeah.
I've mainly got it because I've slowly been getting a Unari force, so to combine with Eldar and Dark Eldar, you can use both of them in one army.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, all the models I get from it have come from box sets. So Wake the Dead, Piety and Pain, and obviously now this one.
Nice. Okay.
Ripping.
This guy was my favorite. I can't describe why, but I love this helmet. The like one with the two like blades up the sides. It always kind of like reminded me of like Sauron from Lord of the Rings, and he has kind of like a weird like hawkish kind of face. Can I make him bigger? Oh, I can make him bigger. There we go. Look at that. Look at that beauty. I love this
Joe
helmet.
goes, who buys these for that price?
Did you just say beauty? I haven't given my 10 cents so far.
Yeah.
I remember from that release, total disappointment. And for me, it hasn't changed much over years because I knew Jess had been planning on working on Dark Eldar for a long time, and it was one of his wishes to just be able to do them one day.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed with them
Oh, they
back
didn't live up
then.
to it for you?
And if I see the models today, it hasn't gotten much better as well.
Well,
I see the design ideas in them, but they are so, for me, they are so hilarious and wrongly proportioned and just not great. And I do remember even the box set had those streamlined rules back then. I mean, we came from second to
Did
third
it?
edition.
I don't think it did.
The rules in second used to be very character driven and very complicated and very squad based. And suddenly everything was the opposite. Suddenly the whole rules were very, very generic, and everything was the same stat wise. And there
True.
was no movement. There was no movement value anymore. And Rick Priestley later said why they did it like this at the time, but I think it was a huge mistake in many ways, which they took many years to recover from. So when I see those models today, I'm just like, nah.
I don't
So
know. I feel like when they came out... Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say I got into the game when it got boring. Then
It was really wacky in second. It was really wacky. It was like far
Totally.
too wacky.
Yeah.
I'm on video. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so... Hold on, did everyone give, like... I thought that these were pretty cool when they came out, and I liked how multi-part they were, certainly, because that was kind of new. And, like, even the guns, I feel like some of the guns live up for me, like the ones with the blades on them. I think they still look pretty damn cool.
these as well, like the blades were really skinny. Like most stuff from that era, obviously it was really fat, chunky stuff, but the blades are actually super skinny like they do nowadays.
Absolutely. I really like the jet bikes and the raiders that came after. Those still work for me, but the infantry.
But one thing that's got me.
Does anyone remember who sculpted these?
Guessing not Jess.
No, obviously not. I think it was Dave Enrose. I think, but I wouldn't bet.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Nora showed up. I had to have a chat. Go ahead. You were saying who sculpted them?
Exactly. I'd like to know.
I want to say it was Ali Morrison, but I don't.
Yes.
I feel like I read that somewhere.
I think that sounds likely.
So the one thing this has got me guessing about is obviously they've got the spruce set on the molds to make them.
Yeah.
So did they just keep these ones because of it was the box set, or have they got the other molds somewhere around?
Oh, dude. What if they don't even have the molds? What if they just have these like boxes literally kicking around and you're getting like the old like white gray shitty brittle plastic?
Oh, that would be the. If that's the case, that plastic would be sitting around for God, I think like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And
oh God, I'm old. Yeah.
That would just you'd snip it, or it would just like you'd get the model out and it would just break in half.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for plastic to degrade? Remember the oceans. 100 years for a plastic bag.
Have you seen a plastic bag degrade in the supermarket? Takes about 5 seconds.
So I feel like there's still cool stuff about these guys, but it's just like you're saying, Marco, that everything has come so far since these were released. I just didn't, when they're like, hey, we're re-releasing this, I'm like, I guess Old Hammer? Maybe they're trying to make money on Old Hammer. I don't know.
So.
But then why did they do all the made to order?
Though, is it?
What's that, Tom?
Just saying, it's not old enough for proper Old Hammer, this, though, is it?
I think it's getting there.
Yeah. Old Hammer to me is, the old metal Chaos Warriors and stuff.
Yeah.
The really old stuff.
I think we don't see it as old is because like those models still went on for like another 15 years. Same with the
No, these ones were retired in the new Dark Eldar came out in 2011, I think, 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, so
these were on for about a decade.
Yeah, so it's about at least that, because I think when third didn't come in until, what was it? 98 or something.
I can't remember exactly. It was at the earliest 98.
Because I remember fourth was like 2005 or 2004, I think it was. When
Oh, you know what? If I still had these sprues, I think I bought. Oh, you know what? It probably has the date on. So the sprues have dates on them. Let's just see if we can get in. Oh, 98.
98. Bang on.
Pretty sure that says 98 there.
So yeah, so they're at least 12 years old at least. So that's why I think we still think of them as recent because of when we were in the hobby, when we first were in the hobby, and obviously everyone's taking a break.
Yep.
Space Marine design has basically stayed the same until 8th edition started, but it's the Dark Eldar ones that you just recognize as you just go, oh, they're still recent, when they're not.
Yeah, these are clearly 98. If you check the Land Speeder sprue, it's got 98 on it.
They're old enough to drink as well.
Yeah. I like that Symbio Joe said, remember when Space Marines were cool? When these came out, it was like, wow! They're multi-part, multi-pose. The one thing I was thinking, though, is that maybe they're releasing these because you can't get multi-part Space Marines anymore. This is how you're going to get them. Although I still love those bolters. I'm obsessed with these bolters. If I ever do Space Marines, they're going to have these bolters. Even Primaris, they're going to have these bolters.
You mean you have to snip the gun off the trigger off
Yep.
yourself?
Yep. I don't care. Yep. I don't care.
I used to love that.
Sorry, what was that, Marco?
Nick, did you just publicly announce your plans to do Space Marines?
I said
if. They finally come?
If I listen, I've recruited a lot of Space Marines over the years. I've got enough to throw on the floor to find other models. Actually, funny story. I made a Space Marine and I accidentally dropped it on the floor and I stepped on it. Here we go. And I kept saying I was gonna make like a female Space Marine. It had like this cool bolter that I modified. Oh man, and the barrel's like snapped. My tiny little barrel. Anyway, so I dropped it on the floor and I stepped on it and I'm like, okay, well, that clearly is never happening.
And did you cry? I guess not.
I kind of went, fuck, but
like,
whatever.
Take this, Space Marine.
I should have laughed maniacally, and that's what I should have done. Does anyone else have anything else they wanted to say about this release? So Flynn's bought it. Marco's not buying it. Tom, you buying it? Or you already got enough?
I have no need for such things.
Good point. Yeah, I just wanted to note it just because it was so weird for me. I'm like, why are they doing this?
I think it's a nice thing for them to do.
Well, I hope it leads to them recasting classic Tyranid Warriors. Big old ant boys in like some new plastic. That would be sweet.
Space
the plastic ones of the banana claws.
Make Tom's Warriors real. I would campaign for that.
Oh, make Tom's Warriors the legitimate item? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's move on. So that was kind of a weird one-off. So like from here, let's take it chronologically through the Xenos releases of 2021. The majority of them are orcs, spoiler alert, but we also have some Necrons in there. There's a little bit of Tau, and we got some Eldar at the end of the year. So let's talk about that stuff. Yeah. Okay, next. So this guy was technically previewed in 2020, but he came out, I think he dropped in 2021 or something. Oh no. Grab it from Games Workshop. Go ahead.
So you know basically how they're doing it right now for that fantasy orc model.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was on the stores and then it's going to be available online for a little while.
Yeah.
I think the same thing was with this one. Like you can go and think, but then if you can't make it to a store, as it says there, you can get it from the web store. And I think they had it available for like a month, and I think that's what I did to get the one for me. So it's a technicality that it was a release.
Okay.
Because it wasn't on the website straight away. It was a few days later, so in the new year.
And it also kind of is a good herald for the year that followed, that this came out at Christmas, and then like 2021 was the year of orcs. So that was kind of cool. And this guy is a plastic version of a Games Day model that they released a while back. And I actually really liked that Games Day model when it came out, and it kind of stuck with me. And full disclosure, I bought this dude. I don't know why, but I bought this dude. I thought he was cool.
Bear with me. Be back in 1 second.
Sure. So we got Will K here, Tactical D-Bag. Welcome, Tactical D-Bag. Says, pretty sure Mr. Pink is a Space Marine fanboy now. That is untrue. Although Symbio Joe says confirmed by Reddit. And then Symbio Joe says, love the gut, not enough, slightly overweight, brutish models. Everyone is shredded. That is not how it works. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so this guy. I know
Oh, is that the original?
That was the original Games Day one.
Nice.
Because when I was looking through all of the ones when I saw that one, it kind of put me on a binge of, ooh, well, let me have a look at the other old Games Day models.
Oh yeah, I got a box of them over there. So what do other people think about this model?
I have no strong opinions either way.
All right.
That's some.
It's an orc.
No need for such things.
Tom, we're going to go through a lot of orcs, so hopefully you have some strong opinions about some of them.
You
I do,
like...
but this is just, it's unremarkable.
You do sound so like Conan the Barbarian. I have no need for such things. I love it.
Okay,
tedious.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, what do you think, Marco?
I have an opinion right now, but for me, it seems always about the nostalgia in one way, because I love Gorka Morka. I never played it, but I came with all the enthusiasm of the years of fun I had been having at Necromunda back then. And the whole Gorka Morka concept was so fresh and funny, and with retrospect, a really nice addition to Necromunda because of the vehicles, the different settings, the comic relief parts. Awesome. What's not to love about Gorka Morka? So sad I never played it, actually, when I think about it. And the model, this one is just really a cool model in many ways, I think. The pose is awesome. I mean, it's like a classic Jazz Goodwin pose back from the day, just more dynamic and better sculpted. And I'm not the biggest orc fan. I don't like the current orc design, either 40k or Age of Sigmar, too much, but it's an awesome model. Love it.
Nice. Flynn, did you have any other observations on it?
Just looking at it, when getting the other one, it is very close to the original one that was based off. There's a few little tweaks they have to make, stuff they've made for the better. I think because the ears, the other model were quite flat against the head, and obviously this one's pulled them out a bit. So it's a good model, and I think, as you said before, it heralded what the year was going to be like with Xenos releases with mainly orcs.
Yep. I'm trying to pull something up here. Because it's based on a piece of artwork. And I think it captures it pretty well. Here we go. Can we see that? So it's pretty similar to this.
It's the cover, isn't it?
I think it was some cover of Gorka Morka or something like that. Again, not perfectly the same, but similar. And I like it when they do that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and like the bringing back nostalgia stuff, I don't know, I think it's cool. But I think, did Symbio Joe say in the comments, give me Gorka Morka? Give me Gorka Morka Mutant Raiders. So yeah, hopefully the release of the 3rd edition box set heralds that they might be going further back into the archives and maybe bringing back some Gorka Morka stuff.
Or
I would love that.
I'd love to do that. I just hope they just don't go, oh, we're going to release each box set now, because if they follow the same trend, it would be, here's the new box, here's the 4th edition box set, and it's just not going to be worth it, because if they don't put the downed Aquila in the box, it's not going to be worth, and you wouldn't be able to get me to buy it, because the Marines are monoposed, the Gene Stealers are come in a set of 6, and they're all monoposed as well. Same with the Termagants. You get the Spore Mines, but the only thing you might get in there, I'm not 100% sure, is the nest, brood nest.
There's also that weird little Space Marine character carrying the like briefcase.
The pilot person.
Yeah.
But he's on the sprue for the Aquila.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I got a story on those brood nests, because back in the day I was in the studio and they had 3 up of the Brood Nest, like a big version.
That'd be amazing.
Yes, and I thought it was, damn, they're making Tyranitar finally. Wow, wow, wow. I was blown away. I just saw it at a quick glance and had no time to properly look at it. And when it was released and it was so tiny, I was so disappointed. Like, oh, thank you.
You're like, what is this? Tyranitar for ants?
What I say? He says, pretty much sure it was a move to cash in on the Black Templar nostalgia.
I was wondering about that because it's a bit ridiculous because sure they painted them like Black Templars, but there's no Black Templar bits on them. They're just like plain Marines. I like Will's observation that it's a perfectly cromulent model for this orc. All right, let's move on. Next, we have this stoopy character. Limited edition Necron for the store anniversary. I love this model. I bought 2. Again, I don't know why, but I bought 2.
You bought Necron models?
Oh, dude, I have... Okay, so... Oh, wait. If Marco can talk about Rick Priestley's basement. Well, back in 2017, when I won Inner Circle for North America, and they flew me down to Games Workshop's United States headquarters, I got a free box of... Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong box. Fuck. When the new Necrons came out in the one... That box that everyone wanted? Yeah. What's it called?
Indomitus.
I have it here somewhere.
In the magazine.
Yeah. I don't know. That box, the Indominus, whatever. I don't know why, but I was really taken with the Necrons. I thought they were really cool. So I bought the Necron half of that box from somebody who's buying the Marines.
Give it to me. I missed it.
I thought you can get it now. They reboxed them in all the like starter sets for 40k or whatever.
Yeah, you can. There's like the separate different 3 different tiers of it. But if you want it better, I think in a few weeks or next few months they'll start the Warhammer Imperium magazine subscription in Europe. So you'll be able to pick up specific issues of like if you want to get Space Marines or you want to get Necrons or even Sisters Battle or what's the other one? Tech Boys, Deptis Mechanicus for a lot cheaper than what it would be to buy the box. Like issue 15 was the Necron Flayed ones. They sold out everywhere, and a lot of like independent shops have gone, no, we're not stocking it anymore because of how bad it was with them getting it distributed to them.
Are you familiar with these magazines, Marco?
I am.
Yeah, I've not seen them because they're UK only, but everyone just talks about what a deal they are.
Oh, they're coming to America for this one.
I don't live in America.
They're coming to North America, so you might be able to get them.
Yeah, well, might be a good way to get cheap, good Necrons.
Yep, okay.
But Marco, did you get one of these guys? Do you like this guy?
No, and actually, as I rebought my old Necrons from the guy I sold them to 10 years ago, I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of Necron models once more, just for kicks.
Nice.
It's an awesome model. It's just like, I love that it doesn't have an obvious weapon, it isn't shouting, it isn't sprinting, it just looks old and sagging.
Yes.
Awesome. Full of character.
Yeah. Pain to put together, though.
Oh, yeah?
When I was doing it, this little bit spikes bits between the back plate. And the instruction says, oh, you just put it in there, but it doesn't really have any like proper guides on there to fit it together. Like you can just slide it all the way back up and down, and if you put it in the wrong place, it doesn't fit onto the legs and everything else. Everything else went fine. It was just that little back bit which screwed it up for me.
Okay.
But apart from that, it's a great model.
Tom, what do you think of Stupid Necron Boy?
I'm in favor of any Necron that has a huge chin.
He definitely has
and the Cyclops eyes as well. That's
yes.
To me.
I am disappointed. Tom has an opinion now.
Sorry.
I do like the Cyclops eyes as well. Yeah, because when I started dabbling with like converting Necrons from the Indominus models, I wanted to make them look less human. Like they still had like a humanoid form, but I liked having non-human heads, and the Cyclops eye makes them a little less human, and the long chin is a little less. This is just a skull shoved on a robot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was always my problem with Necrons. It was just a human skull, which is just a bit whack. But another thing I like on the new stuff is these like dangly curtains of whatever it is. The thing he's got draped off his arm.
I think that's physical Ethereum currency.
Currency?
Like what?
No, I'm just joking. I'm saying that if you made Bitcoin physical, that's what it would look like.
They do look like sci-fi credits or something, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this one. And it's unfortunate this was the store anniversary model because it was so limited. It was hard to find. Unless you're obsessive like me, where as soon as they released it, they showed it. I was like, that model's awesome. I want it. Call your store. Ask them when they're going to have it.
How did you get 2?
I just bought 2. They would sell you as many as you want.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, you just have to go to the store on the anniversary date. I thought they made a way for it to order it online, but maybe not.
No, so this one, it was you go to the store, you buy the model. If they'd run out of it on the day, they would actually just order more in for people. So you just paid for it and it'll come in at a later date. And I think in the UK, instead of doing it as on the store anniversary date, they just did it as, well, all our stores have been closed for so long. What we're going to do is we're back open for about 2-3 weeks. We're now going to have it all in every store. So regardless of when it is, you can just walk in and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot more got sold that way. And I think they keep changing how they're deciding on doing it all, because you don't want to get it where you go in, you can't get the model for whatever reason, just because, oh, we didn't think we'd sell this many for the store.
Yeah, our stores here, they realized all their anniversaries were like really close to each other, so they modified their anniversaries to spread them out over the year. So that you'd have more chance to get stuff like this. But yeah, this should just be the normal Necron line. What's that, Tom?
I'm just saying it's probably to stop you doing just a road trip of all the shops and getting one everywhere.
They were thinking more like to avoid people missing it. Like, because if they miss one anniversary, they can be like, oh, there's another Games Workshop over there, and they have an anniversary in a couple of months. You should go there and get it there.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to say about this Necron guy. The thing about Necron characters, it's the same as Space Marine characters. Like, it wouldn't really be that hard to just convert it yourself.
Yeah. Take this as inspiration and then make it happen. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we good to move on?
Yeah.
So Will is saying I actually have an NOS in
Nuance Brew.
Dominus. Oh, Nuance Brew, that's what that means. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I got another one. There was like someone on Twitter who's like selling their Necron half for cheap. And because I'm crazy, I'm like, give me more Necrons. Someday, apparently, I'm going to make Necrons. Okay, this one's a weird one, but... Go ahead.
Well, I am interested if you're willing to part.
Oh, yeah. But I think you can buy it, like, super cheap. Can't you?
Yeah.
Not that guy, the, like, Necron half of Indominus. But...
Yeah, Will, just let us know where you are, just to see if it's worth Marco's doing anything for it.
Right.
Yeah, you can get individual stuff from Indominus really cheap on eBay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we had the Liber Xenologist book release, which is not technically a Xenos model, but a damn cool book. I did a review of it. It's on the YouTube channel here, where I kind of go through it and look at some of the Xenos that are featured in there. Here we have a Zote, which is what they showed on their website. And I was pleasantly surprised by this book. I was really confused when Flynn put this all together because it says it was released on February 16th. I'm like, but I got this with the Dark Elder Codex, and that's because the distribution of this was really bad. And you had to wait, I had to wait like a month to get mine despite ordering it direct from Games Workshop in the pre-order. But it eventually showed up, and it's a damn cool book. And there's a lot more interesting stuff in this than I thought there was going to be. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
It was basically for me.
Go ahead.
Here's your Xenos releases for the whole. Here's Xenos for the whole year. Shut up. Stop complaining.
We gave you a book of Xenos. I got binder full of Xenos. Here you go. Get out of here. Now we're gonna get back to Space Marines.
Yeah, it was funny, but also there was a lot of stuff there that they hadn't touched on, and it looked like there was going to be more to Blackstone Fortress than they
Yeah.
eventually did. But it's opened the door for a lot of other things of what you can do, like model-wise, if you want to convert or if you want to do anything. Also, if you're a Tau player, there's a lot more opportunities for other races to throw into your Tau army as mercenaries,
Oh,
or
nice.
even just as fire warriors, but convert them from other things.
That's the best way to have other dudes in your Tau force. Just like make them fire warriors, and just like give them cat heads or something.
You mean felonids?
Yeah. Although looking at this, I do feel sad that the Zote model, you can't buy it right now. I think we've moaned about this on the stream before, so I won't moan at length. But
we have. I didn't want to believe it. Look,
we
up
have
the Emble Zote. That was so sad to see. It was true.
So I've actually found out a bit more about that stuff.
How?
Why it didn't.
Super sleuth.
So I was talking to a different staff member who's worked at a few different stores, and they told me like it's mainly based on the day sales. So with Blackstone Fortress, there wasn't a lot of on the release day, a lot of sales for the models. They got sold as they went through the year, and they got told every so often they get told, okay, take these off the shelves, send them back to us.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the staff members, they go, cool, I've got like 20 of these boxes for Blackstone Fortress because I didn't sell any expansions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send them back to the HQ, and then HQ does whatever they want to do with it. Like, it could be sent off to independent retailers that are trying to get them on back order or wherever. But because there wasn't an initial large purchase from everyone on the day, they don't order more down the line. So I think it could be part of the reason why you see some kits come out and they don't get restocked for quite a while, because their initial release date sales are not high enough to warrant getting more.
It's not the restock I'm looking for. I'm looking for them to be released separately, like the sprue to be released separately from the Blackstone Fortress card stock bullshit, because like it artificially inflated we've talked about this before, but it artificially inflated the cost because you're buying all the cardboard that you need for the game. But if I just want that model, like when I initially saw the Zote, I was like, ooh, that's pretty expensive. And it's because they're selling you the model and an expansion for the game that I'm not going to play. So I bought one, but I meant to get another one, but I failed at that. But I'm really hopeful that they're going to find some other way to release the Zote, to release the Amble, take it out of the Blackstone Fortress box, put it in just like a kill team box with like nothing in it, or like some rule for it, like it's a kill team operative or something like that, or like an NPC, because this is a beautiful model. It's gorgeous.
You know, you can actually use these in normal games to 40k as well.
Yeah, in the box that I bought, it had the 40k rules in it.
So they're on like the app and everything, so you can go, oh yeah, put it into your force, and it's like, okay, but what if I can't buy the model? It's not gone to Legends. It's just like, yeah, you can use the model, but give me the model to use the model. But if we're gonna be on this section for a long time if we keep talking about this.
Symbio Joe made a very good observation. Is this retail or cinema? Initial day sales, deciding what they're gonna do with the product.
Let us not forget that Zotes used to be 2/3 of a Tyranian army, model-wise back then.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had 6 different models for the Tyranian army, and 4 of them were Zotes.
That's another reason that we need them. Oh, Brett Evans is here. Hey, Brett, joining us from Australia. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey,
And Will was saying, I would love them to release more Zotes and Amble. I fully agree. I have 2 Zotes because I bought one assembled from someone, and I have 1 Amble, and that is not enough Zote and Amble in my life.
I have 9 Ambles.
9?
You what?
So the reason why
fucking eBay camper over here, jammy bastard.
As
damn shit off, I hate you.
But I got them when they actually were initially released.
You did? You bought them new in box? 9?
No, so I bought them off like eBay and stuff. So I got like 1 or 2 new in box, and a few from people who had already made them up and everything. So they're going to get used as a revenue unit, and I think I can't remember what the flies thing that they came with as well. I've set them on basis to use as rippers as well.
Oh,
just so I've got like a little thing. And
nice.
The Zoe, I didn't realize. I thought, oh, I'll get that a bit later.
As many
I had
people
to
did,
pay.
as I did. Oh, I'm gonna get a couple more of those later, and there was no later.
Yeah, I had to pay a little bit more than you'd want to. But
Uh,
then
Look
again,
at
I'm
me,
used
I
to
have
doing that.
0 because I've always thought, oh, buy them later, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah. So with City expansions, no waiting around, buying it now.
Yeah, and
But-
didn't someone on the stream, we were talking on the stream the other day or another time, and someone was like, this is clearly a ploy by Games Workshop that as soon as, I think it was Simon, as soon as something comes out, you have to buy it because it's, if you don't buy it, it's going to be gone. And I really hope they aren't operating in that way, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah, FOMO.
Be sure. Of course, man.
Yeah, you're probably right. Which is sad and messed up, but whatever. Yeah, because that was a damn cool, like, I feel like we're getting off track because we're talking about the
The
Zoe
book
release,
was
which
amazing.
not 2021, but the book was good.
We
Yes.
are always getting off. We are always getting off track.
Standard
our
operating
trademark.
procedure, right?
Yep.
Oh shit, what have I done? Yeah, and yeah, I would recommend this book to anyone who's interested in 40k Xenos. There is a lot of different interesting new stuff in here. There's a lot of actual content if you like reading. Like, I don't like reading 40k fiction, but if you like reading 40k fiction, there's a lot of like write-ups about the different races and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
But let me guess, you can't get it anymore, right?
You know what, Marco? You might be right. You might not be able to get this anymore. I don't know if you can get.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. You can't get it anymore either.
Are you serious?
Why?
Serious.
Why should I
It's
know?
not-
Because I tried.
If you go to, where is it? Oh yes, my friend eBay. You might be able to get one.
Are you fucking serious?
It's so you know when the
God
No,
damn it,
so you
Games
know-
Workshop. I know that you
No,
love
so you-
Space Marines more than everyone else, but can you be a little less on the nose about it?
No, but this book was a limited release book, but he didn't tell you it. So what they're doing now with the books are, this is the initial run. We're only doing a certain amount.
Yeah.
So if you, best example is the Volpone book that they just released. That got sold out within the first day. I went and looked at it a day later. It was
Yeah.
back up, available to buy.
Oh.
And then when I went to a store to try and buy it, because I wanted to do a few different purchases at once,
Yeah.
it went, no more. That's it. You're done. You can't buy it you can't buy it online from Games Workshop anymore. So you'd have to try, because what they're doing is they're releasing everything in paperback or trying to get you to buy it as an ebook later down, because Black Library doesn't sell any hard copies anymore. It's only ebooks and audiobooks from Black Library. now.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing I don't
Because-
read Black Library because that's annoying.
Yeah. So you've got to either get it from Games Workshop's website, try and get a copy on Amazon, or be lucky enough to get it from eBay again, or one of the other used books websites where someone is selling it for a little bit less than what it actually costs to buy it from Games Workshop, which I was lucky enough to do with the
God
whole home
damn.
book. But it's annoying that you have to wait about 3 to 6 months to get a soft cover paperback, but they don't even tell you when that's going to come until like a month before.
Okay, so they do release paperbacks eventually.
Yeah, but it's a while away. Oh, who we got? Steven Sylvester just asking, off-topic question. Any idea how or what army you would convert or kitbash to convert the slan from Age of Sigma Fantasy into 40k?
Oh,
Nice
well, there
one.
is Space Slan, isn't there?
Ow.
Isn't that part of 40k?
The old ones, yeah. Led by the older. You got, I'd say, two different ways. Put it as a Tau model as an ethereal, as it just so it's the leader there, or do it as a Eldar Exodite sort of thing, because obviously they use like old ways of like using dinosaur riders and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to convert it, but that's the two different routes I would go.
Marco, I'm sure you saw some Slan down in Rick Priestley's basement. How would you convert Slan for 40k?
Let's not talk about Rick's personal slam here. It's too intimate.
I would I feel like I would. Okay, we need Hive Fleet Bargeist here because Hive Fleet Bargeist could tell us all of the fluff for Slan. I'm not super familiar with them, but yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like the Zote would be a pretty cool Slan model. You could use bring forward the what are they called? Seraphon? Lizardmen? And just like put some 40k bits on them. And I've seen people do that well with Tau bits, like putting Tau bits on Seraphon Lizardman models, and it seems to work pretty well.
Yeah.
Tom, how would you do Space Slan if you had to?
And like the guy with his, because he's sort of chunky, but then he's got these really skinny arms, which already looks really alien. I think it would just be like a head swap or a face swap, just to something more gribbly.
Oh, you mean that cool Seraphon guy on the levitating gyroscope thing?
Yeah, I thought that's what we were talking about, the Slan.
Yeah, but it's an army. I think the question is, any idea how or what army you would convert Kit Bash to convert the Slan from AOI?
Oh, to represent the Slan in 40k.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have to be just the Seraphon generally, wouldn't it?
I'm trying to
I
think
don't know
of
what
other
would work
cool
well
ways.
for bodies for them, though.
What's that?
I'm trying to think what would be good for a body for them.
Yeah, possibly Seraphon. The Tau armor does look non-gothic, so if you're trying to get away from gothic, Eldar? I don't know. Sorry, I've got a fruit fly in my face. Also, it depends on like what you want to do. Do you want an army full of lizard dudes, or do you want an army that has like different races playing in it? Like I've said this before, but the Dark Eldar Codex is very good for giving you a lot of different stat lines to play with within one army. Like little swarmy things, big brutish things, like weird monsters in between. So if you were hoping for an army that had a lot of that randomness in it, Dark Eldar rule base would be good, but in terms of models, you'd have to probably use Seraphon or something like that.
Like Lizardmen heads would probably look quite cool on the Vansars, but they're a bit tiny Vansar models.
Oh, that could work though. Putting like
maybe
skink heads.
Maybe skink head. Yeah, skink.
Shit, we just solved it. Skink heads on Vansar models confirmed. I think that'll look amazing.
Well,
chop off the boots. Chop off the Vansar boots and put on like some kind of monstery scaly feet. And it looks like armored. You're basically making, what are those dudes from Halo? Covenant
Arbiters?
Elite? Is that what they're called? The dudes with the swords?
Don't ask me.
I just remember the guy called Arbiter. I think that's the one. Who it is, because he's the one that defects from them. I think I've never actually played Halo.
We need Blitz Mechanica here. Blitz knows Halo back to front. But yeah, the idea of like lizardy things in armor, I think it would look really cool. Now I actually have a Vansar box that I bought mostly for the guns. I should just do that. I just need some skinks.
I'm getting off track again. Funny story about the Liebag Xenologist. Yeah. Like this German eBay is flooded with German edition for like €55 dirt cheap. They seem to have made too many German copies. So if anyone knows German,
you're
it's
good.
very easy to get here.
Well, do you really want an English copy, or you can get a German copy?
I don't really care in this case, but really, there's so many of these. Apparently, they have massively overstocked on them.
That's good to know. Flynn, man, you were asleep at the eBay wheel there. You're our eBay reporter. Come on.
I don't look at the German side. Obviously, a lot of stuff from Germany won't ship to the UK now.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, Stephen, the Vansar is a Necromunda gang. They're the ones that are like very like techie. And there's actually two Vansar kits now. There's the one with the hoverboards and the standard line troops. So depending on your Games Workshop, they might not stock them, but I know that my independent retailer stocks Games Workshop stocks Necromunda models, so you could look into that. But that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that, because this is super interesting.
Hello, Blitz.
Blitz, you got here just in time, man. What are the big dudes from Halo with the guns and the sword, the power sword? They got like a kind of lizardy head, and they got like the super armor, the like power armor. What are they called? Are those Covenant Elite? Am I right? Or Arbiter? Flynn knows some guy named Arbiter who like defected.
The Elite.
Okay. All right, yeah, that sucks about that this book is not available because when they released it, I don't know if it still says it in this article, but I remember reading that they said, "Oh yeah, it will be limited eventually," and they made this very vague statement about it will be available widely eventually. But who knows what the hell that means? And I'm very glad that I learned my lesson from not buying the Book of Jess Goodwin art the first time. And I'm just like, fuck it, I just have to buy it because I don't know if it's ever going to be around again.
Yeah, Blitzer said they are the elites.
All right, just in time. But that was a good question. I'm glad we had that little hash on Slyn. Anyone else want to say anything about Liberxenologist before we move on?
Yes, I want to. I just bought it. Thank you.
Congratulations!
Yay!
You'll have to tell me what Zod is in German.
It's Zoat.
Oh, not Cybot?
No.
Oh,
That's
I guess it's
dreadful.
I guess it's just a Zod again. But yeah, I just bought it. Awesome.
nice. All right, moving on to the Kill Team release earlier this year of Pariah Nexus, which, speaking of releases that Games Workshop had that they didn't release separately, I really want that Necron terrain.
Oh yeah.
Like, how cool is that shit? Like, they've got like the
Little-
mini monoliths in there and stuff. Oh,
Little nubbies.
oh yeah, I want them so bad. You have some, don't you, Tom? I thought I saw you working with one, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't have those.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Might have to bite the bullet and get more Space Marines.
No. Well, okay. You know, cat's out of the bag. I'm a secret Space Marine fanboy, but if I had to buy any Primaris, these chonky boys, that's what I would need in my life.
You could just make them into either wound markers or kill things on the bases.
Or find bits on my floor markers.
There too.
Oh man, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this box is even available anymore.
Oh no, that box is not available anymore, but trusty friend eBay may have some.
Right. Because like, I do like the Necron terrain. I don't love the flayed ones. Like, this was when the flayed ones got their official release. I'm not crazy about them.
They're
How do people
improved,
feel
at
about the
least.
flayed ones? Go ahead, Tom. What was that?
I just said they're an improvement, at least.
Certainly, I agree.
Well, a little, huh? Not too much.
What's that, Marco? Sorry?
A little, not too much, sadly.
I think the claws are awesome. Like, I think those claws on something else. I think Tom could take those claws and do something really cool with them.
Tom,
The old
can
metal
work.
ones.
You can give Tom a piece of shit and he can do something awesome
You're right,
with,
you're right, you're
with
right.
it.
It's not much of a
Imagine.
statement.
I was gonna say the old metal ones are better than these, but these are better than the in-between models because I think one of them had like
Oh,
a torso and a head sticking on top of the model.
yes.
I just
remember
didn't
something like that.
I didn't like that one. Also, they were done in fine cast, so they weren't the best representation when you actually saw them up close. But I just didn't like the way they looked or felt of trying to impersonate someone. Where these ones do a bit better, but I think the old metal ones are still.
I forgot what
So
the old
much.
ones looked like. I'm trying to pull them up now. I'm getting some eBay listings. Oh, they do look pretty good.
Nah.
Go ahead.
Just so you know, the Pariah terrain stuff. As
Yes.
it sold quite a bit, you could easily get that. I've just found a listing for £8.50. Best
Oh.
offer and £4 postage in the UK. So I'm sure you'll be able to get those quite easily from anyone because a lot of people, I think, just got it for either the Marines or the Necrons because everything was new in that box.
Yep.
And just was like, I'm going to buy a few of these, and then just got, oh, I've got the board left, I've got the scenery left. So
Okay.
you'll be able to get them quite easily, I think.
Good. That's good to know. So here are the old flayed ones, the metal ones. They look pretty good. And here are the janky ones that they released subsequently. You're right, Flynn, they're so bad.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you can't quite see the guy screaming on that guy's back. Let me make this window a little bigger because you can't miss that. That's really the pièce de résistance here. God, that's horrible.
Just like he's wearing a big sweater.
Okay, that
Yeah,
first
yeah,
guy, the first guy is kind of cool. Stocky guy at the front, he's kind of neat, but the rest of them are just bad.
It's like they're doing really bad dance moves. some
You
of
were
them.
right. And then we got those guys were the originals. Damn, the originals are really nice. Selling for a pretty penny on eBay, mind you. And then these are the yeah, okay, I see what you mean, Flynn. Good observation. Not as bad as the in-between step, but certainly not as good as the first ones.
Yeah.
Tom, how do you
How
feel
dark
about
is
these
that?
boys?
The new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, it's a improvement on the old ones, and they're at least a nice, easy plastic kit to chop to bits.
But honestly, does anyone of you like the concept of those scary outer space metal god servants walking around in skin because it's so scary? It's
I think
just
if it was
for
done
me,
better, I'd like it more.
So there's the two different reasons behind the flayed ones.
What are they? I don't
So
actually know.
the initial
Tell
one
me.
back before they changed it was they were stealth infiltrators. So it would kill someone and wear its flesh, pretending to be the person, mimicking their voice and everything else for it. Then
Okay.
they've transitioned it, so it's not that anymore. It's a virus that infects the Necrons.
Mhm.
Because they want to have a lot of them want to go back to being flesh creatures and have their souls instead of just being in the metal where they got deceived by the Catan or whatever you call them.
That's
Uh,
better.
They are basically just trying to have flesh. They will rip flesh off it and just put it on top of themselves. So it's like they try and curtail
Oh.
them all into one place, so they
That's
don't
neat.
spread the
That's neat.
infection.
That's neat. That's a neat concept. Thanks for explaining.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, so these are okay. There's also, we talked about how much I love the train. There's also this boy. What do we think about this boy?
I bought one.
Okay.
Why
I
does
like the
everybody
floating
buy
cubes.
everything and not me? I'm always too late, it seems.
Wait,
No, this
Marco,
one you
I
can still buy now.
Marco, how do you feel about, sorry, I meant to ask you, how did you feel about those Flay ones as a Necron dude? Like, would you use them? You could swamp them up pretty nice.
Well, so far I haven't been a fan of later ones at all because I didn't like the concept.
Yeah.
With what Flynn just explained to me, it makes much more sense and it gets some kind of tragic aspect that I really like. So I have to rethink it maybe. So
Yeah.
far I didn't. But this one is awesome. This one is all kinds of awesome. As Tom would say, he's just one eye and a long chin.
Yep.
I need them.
Tom, how do you feel about this one eye, long beard boy?
Yeah, it's another cool one. I really like the cube opening up. I think that's ace.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Totally.
Flynn?
Oh, as I said, I've just recently bought one, so I definitely like it.
Nice.
Also, I like the bit with it hasn't got legs instead; it's got tentacles instead, and one of them is wrapping around the staff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that feels a little chunky. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm looking at it like one view, and if you look 360, maybe there's more fluidity to it, but this model feels very chunky to me and not as lithe as it could. Although I do really like the weird kind of what is it called? Mantle that he's wearing, like on his shoulders and over his head. I think that's a pretty cool bit. And I love the magic little casting thing in his I was gonna say wand in his staff. I think that's amazing. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff like that in Necrons. Flynn, the crazy Necron dude that's like casting the skull, he wasn't released this year? I thought he was a this year release.
Which one casting the skull?
You know the one, it's like, it's also got the tentacle base. It's like a Canoptech or whatever these guys are called. And it's...
Yeah, like a pixelated skull.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, it's a pixelated skull. You didn't encounter that one in your travels?
Nah, I didn't see it.
I guess it was last year.
Yeah, it could have been done in the initial wave of Necrons.
It might have been late in the initial wave. That might have been my issue.
Yeah.
But
There was what?
Flynn?
Yeah, you go.
Nick, you gotta let him be chunky. No weight discrimination around here. It's okay.
No, it's just like
he's old. Your metabolism is changing over the centuries. I know it is. Trust me.
I just feel
Let
like
him be.
there's a lot of like Necrons that are very like lithe and spindly and kind of spidery, but then like there's parts of them that are just too heavy. Like that staff, I feel like it doesn't need to be that thick, but maybe it does.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I don't know. Anyway, so I like Necron models, but apparently there's room for change. And then of course the terrain, which I love. Oh god, these things are not all of them, but some of these are pretty cool.
Did you mean the Psychomancer? The one where it's
Yes.
got like the
Yeah.
that was 2020. One of the handy things is when you actually click on the model on Games Workshop's website,
yeah,
it has the army, the name of the model, and the year it's released.
Oh, in the like URL?
In the URL, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh, here you go, Marco. You got these 2 sets. The Honored of the Chapter and the Royal Court. You can get the Royal Court from the Indominus box on their own, but they're very expensive compared. They're way overpriced, yeah.
Okay. Just buy the individual things from eBay.
Okay.
Although that dude is cool. I love that dude. The like that Technomancer or whatever.
Okay, yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry, getting off topic. This wasn't a 2021 release, but okay. Onwards. So next we had the Dark Eldar release for 2021, with the Dark Eldar Codex, which was released in March, and I think the only new model that we got was Lilith Hesperax. Because I think that the Incubi came out the year before. Andrazar. So how do people feel about Lilith?
Is there a picture of just her?
I'm going to try and pull it up. I'm going over to the Games Workshop website. This was a pretty divisive model, I feel like, in the community in general, because some people were like, she's not sexy enough, wear her ass pants. And some people are like, oh, she's too sexy, and I don't know. Talk about like how her face sculpt wasn't amazing. When we talk about sleeping on something and not buying it when you should have bought it, I feel like I should have bought a metal Lilith Hesperax because it never really spoke to me. I think it was a Juan Diaz sculpt. It didn't speak to me at the time, but looking back on it, I do love that sculpt more than this sculpt. Hold on, let me make her bigger. There we go. So of course this was the bad. Oh, what's going on? Did we lose? We lost Flynn. This is the bad joke about. Oh look, they got a new Eldar Guardian release because there's an Eldar Guardian on our base.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a pretty dynamic model. I feel like a lot of things about the model, but altogether I'm not crazy about it. Marco, I feel like you have strong opinions on Dark Eldar. What do you think?
First, I feel this is the kind of model you have to see for real.
Yeah.
Because often enough, I'm judging a model badly when I saw it for real, because especially with modern models, which are so three-dimensional these days.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have to see it for real. For me, it doesn't work as well. The pose is awesome, of course, but the hair is just too big. I mean, I just can't imagine a real being like her jumping around with this huge piece of hair floating around her.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it works visually very well, but for me, it isn't realistic enough. It's just too comic style.
Yep. Tom?
I have no issues with over-the-top anime style hair or what have you. I like it. It's cool.
Yep.
More hair.
But what do you think of the model in general, distinct from her hair?
I'm not really a fan of witches generally.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the bare feet. That's about the only thing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good observation.
Agreed.
Also, it gives us a look at the new designs for the Eldar Guardians.
Is it really that different? I guess like the 2 shoulder things are a little different.
It's just, I was just making a joke because that was the first time we've seen a new Eldar sculpt for probably years.
All right, smart boy.
Aside from the Banshees and Jane Zar that came out.
Yeah, she's kind of like taking Jane Zar challenging Jane Czar's hair, because Jane Czar has some pretty big hair.
Yeah, same.
Sorry for dropping off. The fifth
That's
member
okay.
got into my Discord, making it restart.
I told you not to put those Ripper stickers anywhere near your computer, man. Come on.
There's nowhere near. There's nowhere near.
Tom, you still don't have a shirt, right?
Well,
God damn it.
I
was
am
gonna say
sure
that-
Tom has a shirt.
I
I'm
think
sure Tom has a shirt. He's not
Peter
naked right
Hansen.
now.
Peter Hansen also didn't receive his shirt, but Peter Hansen just received the stickers that I sent out, so I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
Or maybe you need to
Post
check.
office just removed the shirt.
Oh, Symbio Joe has a nice idea. He suggested on the chat to make a head swap with the vampire.
Ooh.
And for me, this would really work, I think.
Oh. Yeah, that would work. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so that was, I think, the only release for Dark Eldar. Any other thoughts? Can we move on?
Let's
No.
go.
All right. And in case you're counting, Dark Eldar still needs to have friggin' grotesques released in plastic, which is driving me up the wall, but whatever.
And they need to bring back Abstral Vect.
Yes,
Bring him
Vect.
back.
We haven't had a mech
Say
Vect
again.
model since like 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next like Xenos wave we got was the beginning of the Orc Wave. This is just like the preview when they did like the video and they're like, hey, these are big beast snagas. So they previewed them in March and we got this one Piggy Boy, but then the actual release came in July. So about 4 months later with the Beast Snagas box.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I thought I broke it down, but
I think that's the next another one because this was like the first time they showed off. The
oh,
orcs, 'cause there
okay.
was a little
Hold
carrot
on.
tail at the end.
This is all getting mixed up. What the
There
hell?
we go.
No, that's not the right one.
It's,
Where the hell? Oh god, there's so much.
yeah,
You sent me one that had just the Beast Snagas in it, and now I'm having
that
trouble
was
finding
another
it.
one later when it actually was like it came out because that one was with the orcs one it all got a bit confusing because it was everything with here's the announcement on the preview live stream of the orcs are coming and everything else, and then this is going to be the second wave. It was a lot of stuff that came out because this stuff is the new Orc Boys which got up there. So yeah, so that one is the actual announcement of what was in the box, and I think
Okay.
because I just did the preview ones, I didn't go to like all the other ones later on of
Well,
this is in the box.
let's be honest. None of us are that crazy about orcs. So I would go find that post, but I don't think I really need to. So I'm just going to make this one very large, and then we can talk about this. Yeah, so how did people feel about this Beast Snagas?
One thing we're going to say first off, I didn't like the way they did the box. Not for what was in it. It was, you want to play with the new Orc rules. You've got to buy this book. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a month to be able to use the new rules for Orcs at a tournament. But all tournaments are going to allow you to use the new Orc rules, but if you haven't got the book, you can't use it. So Games Workshop kind of shot themselves in the foot because when people got the book, that went all online for everyone to use. So people were like, well, I've got all the rules now. Do I, and in a digital format, easier.
Mhm.
Do I actually go need to buy the codex?
Interesting.
Good point.
The models, though, brilliant.
Uh,
Especially with bringing back an old character.
yeah, I love that the Grabber Brought Snaga or whatever the heck his name is. He's one of my favorite releases of 2021.
The
Easily.
Grot Supremacist.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Such a great model.
I also really loved the Beast Snaga boys. I don't know why, but just something about them. They really worked for me. Like their chunky armor, the big chunky weapons. They felt like big enough to be orcs. They felt like Primaris orcs. Like if you fixed orc posture, this is what they would look like.
Yeah, for me, it's more like they're feral orcs that have been on a planet and they're like, they've been there for years. So this is
Yeah.
what's happened to them. They had to regress the technology they used.
Mhm.
So if you read one of the Last Chances books,
I've read none
So,
of
like,
any of the books.
so basically just there's a bit in it where they've got Schaefer's Last Chances. So they're still fighting the Orcs on Armageddon.
Mhm.
And it's basically the people who've been on Armageddon for years fighting have just said, yeah, so you've got the new orcs that come down, and then you've got the orcs that have been here that have been grown on it, because obviously when you kill an orc, the spores grow into a new orc and everything else. So these this more represents like orcs that have been on a planet and they haven't got all the fancy new stuff. They're just going with their shooters and their butchers and their cleavers and just trying to fight people, which I really like.
Nice.
Well, my point of view is I don't like those 40k orcs getting chunkier and more comic-like. Maybe it's again the same as with the big hair of our Dark Elder lady, but I really welcome the way the Age of Sigmar Cruel Boys changed the style of the orcs, because they're more threatening. They are not just so stupidly comic-like, and these here just enhance the chunkiness of them, which I didn't like to start with. So it's aside from the character, it's a no for me. Although I see they're technically very well made.
Tom, how do you feel about these guys, the Beast Snaggers?
I'm a big fan of anything squig related, so the squig hogs are great.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why Beast Snagger boys need to exist.
Good question.
They're just, I don't get it. They're just boys with like, do they have toughness 5 or something, or more strength?
I think maybe.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I would like it if they'd have done properly savage 40k orcs. That would have been great.
Yeah,
these are just something sort of in between.
Yeah, it does feel like they're the step between Savage 40k and normal boys. I think they've said a couple places that these are like snakebite orcs, but I picture snakebites being more feral. Maybe this is as feral as orcs are going to get. Marco, I kind of disagree with the whole Cruel Boy thing. I feel like I see what Games Workshop's trying to do with the Cruel Boys, but when I think of orcs, this is what I think of, and I think of like Age of Sigmar orcs. And when I look at the Cruel Boys, they feel more like Lord of the Rings orcs to me. Tom, That's really sick, man. I'm just seeing what you're doing in your stream.
Yeah.
Look at that big chunky boy with those big swords.
I was needing a use for these swords.
That's a good use.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I still, again, I don't feel enough about orcs to actually collect them, but I don't mind the big angry screamy ones, the kind of like Games Workshop version of them, because they feel unique. And then when they did the Cruel Boys, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you just took Lord of the Rings orcs and called them Games Workshop.
That's exactly it, but I found them much scarier, much more believable for me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Those Brian Nelson style orcs are so over the top proportion-wise that I just can't believe them. I just can't see them running around in a real world. It breaks my sense of disbelief. While the the Cruel Boy stuff, absolutely, they are totally Lord of the Rings style. But for me, they are more believable. But yeah, let's not debate that. It's not possible.
It's the whole point of the Cruel Boys is the duality of Gorka Morka, the orc god. One is sneaky but cunning, and the other one is sneaky but brutal and brutal but cunning. I can't remember what the actual phrasing is. So
brutally cunning and cunningly brutal.
Thank you. That's it.
Oh, nice.
So the Cruel Boys are meant to be the cunning ones but brutal, but whatever way round it's meant to be. The Iron Jaws, the ones that are the beefier ones with the actual armor and everything else, for one of the orc gods when they're separated into Gork and Mork, and the Cruel Boys are for the other one. So that's how it worked out with them.
Oh, okay. So they're different
strains
of orcdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Cruel Boys are the cunning ones.
Oh, that makes a little more sense.
I see.
Yeah, I also disagree with Tom. I feel like squigs are fun, but I feel like the squig hogs they're too fat and like heavy looking for me. Particularly the one that the boss is wearing.
Welcome to my point of view. Thank you.
But remember, squigs are actually Tyranids.
I forgot that part.
Indeed.
Yeah,
but like
so
some of the later squigs, like the white whale squig or whatever, I think it looks amazing. The weird Tyrannosaurus squig. Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah.
And the squig that came out with the blood axes, commandos.
But you know what? The white whale squigs still our concept. You know, old One Eye wasn't Moby Dick, the archetype.
Okay.
They took it from us again.
And to be clear, Symbio Joe, I am not body shaming. Everyone who knows me knows that I like a big chunky lad, but I like the muscular chunk. I like the muscular chunk of the beast nagas, and less the blobby chunk of the squig hogs.
Blobby chunk.
Blobby
when
chunk.
you get to my age, you shall know the blobby chunk. Trust me.
So Brett Evans has given us, I think, the full phrasing. Mork is cunning but brutal. Gork is brutal but cunning.
Awesome.
Which is cute.
Yeah.
I like that. And Brett Evans also let us know that Beast Nagas have higher strength, but less weapon options.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can't take big shooters, right?
Yeah. So I will ditch this. I'll move on to the next thing. We got another Necron boy here that we can touch on quickly. This was released in... What the heck was this? Is this some kind of exclusive?
Yeah, I think it was the character series. They did the
Oh,
whole character
events.
series. Yeah, so it wasn't like you could go to an event and get this one. I think it was another store event one. I can't actually.
It looks like it's the exclusive model for Games Workshop events in... But there was also
Oh,
that
yeah.
Chaos Lady, so I don't really remember which this is.
Oh, so the Chaos Lady was new store openings.
No, because someone went to a Games Workshop event and there was a giant wall of not Chaos Ladies, and people were like, "Where are my Chaos Ladies? I want the Chaos Lady." I remember that. The new store openings. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, he's too chunky. He's too chunky for you, right?
Yes, he's not lithe enough. Okay, let's see. Available this Saturday for 9 days only. Major tournament event. You'll know there are a clutch of fantastic new models. Oh, some of the characters intended for events in 2020 and 2021 are being made available for everyone to buy.
Oh yeah, because they had that. You could buy the. No, that was last year, Lieutenant Amelius. Remember that one?
I don't know.
I think they did. I think they did the same thing they did the previous year. Of well, you can't go to events where you'd normally buy the model.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is.
And we want to make money,
Yeah. You can't go to the event, but here's the model for you guys, so you could buy it and purchase it. The bit I don't like about it is the head for me is too far turned to the right.
Sniffing his armpit, I agree.
Yeah.
What? Sniffing his armpit?
He looks like he's sniffing his armpit.
His arm is up and his head's turned to the right.
Yes, the saddest thing about this is his pose doesn't allow him to have a long chin.
Yeah.
Even if he had one eye, he wouldn't see anything at all.
But he's got a fancy hat. The fancy hat is meant to make up for it.
No, it doesn't.
I have nothing to say about this model. I find it like entirely uninspiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom, do you like this boy? Ball boy?
Yeah, the chest armor doesn't work, does it? Unless it's like it's in his rules that he's got some fancy armor, it just looks a bit too fat.
Oh, we're body shaming again.
Sorry.
Again.
I can say it because I'm fat.
As am I. Blitz is asking, did we want to talk about Curse City coming back? And Symbio Joe very rightly said, is it a Xenos release? Yeah, we're only reviewing Xenos releases, so we will not be talking about Curse City.
Because technically it didn't get released this year anyway.
Well, Tom managed to get the model somehow.
Well, it did get released this year. Yeah, well, it's not Xenos, we're not talking about it.
Yeah. I stole some of Blitz Mechanica's models.
Yeah, this is secondhand stuff.
Oh shit, Brett Evans did make a really good point. Do you guys know the orb meme?
Yes.
No.
There's an orb thing. It's a meme. He's contemplating his orb. So this is a perfect release for 2021.
Orb. Brett, just send me a link to it or something.
Oh yeah, I'll send you something later. It's basically the cover from some Middle Earth Lord of the Rings. I think it was a Choose Your Own Adventure book or something. But it's like a depiction of Saruman looking at the Palantir. I should just Google orb. It'll go badly, but I'll just do it.
Just go for the safe for work ones.
Oh, too late. Okay, so here is the image. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Know your meme. Pondering my orb. Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn.
Wondering right Paul.
What the? There we go. So it's this picture of this dude. This is the cover of the book. And then you can see in the back, there's like, I don't know, I think it's probably Pippin and Mary in the back or something. This is supposed to be Saruman looking at the Palantir, but people have just taken it and gone like hog wild on making like weird memes about pondering your orb.
Oh.
It's unstoppable.
I must admit, I have never.
You've never pondered your orb?
Exactly.
I thought that's what you guys got up to in Rick Priestley's basement.
We did things we don't talk about anymore. But we didn't ponder.
Of course, with his slan.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't say yes, I don't say no. Okay?
Does anyone else have anything further to say about Orb Guy?
No. Rick's slan.
All right,
No,
onwards.
thanks.
So Kill Team came out this year, Octarius, which like had some orcs in it, but I've never been so excited about orcs. So I got a view of the actual. So the Kill Team came out at the kind of beginning of August. It released in August, and then these beautiful boys were released as part of the Kill Team release. And these models are friggin' amazing. These are probably one of my favorite releases of 2021. This whole Kill Team for the orcs, because there's just so much character in them. Where that? Okay. Oh, and it's broken down by like all the different dudes in here. Like you got like the boss dude who looks kind of like someone from like a 90s commando movie. You got like the breacher dude. You got like the knife boy. You got this shooty guy with the toque, which he's probably my favorite. Got the weird sniper dude. And like alternate heads. You got a bomb squig. You got a little grot that you can build with like a diving mask or not a diving mask. I feel like this is the best orc release of 2021.
The release trailer for it as well was just amazing.
Oh yeah, it was animated. It was like a video game.
It just looked like it was going to be something else before, and you just absolutely loved it. And then finally they got it released. But also, it's now, yeah, they've gone this far for Orc Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
What else are they going to do for the rest of the Orc line? But also, what are they going to do for the other Xenos armies? If they're putting this much into Orcs, which they are one of the main armies, what are they going to do for? You're going to think at the time. You're going to what they're going to do for Tau. What are they going to do for?
Let's put a pin in that.
Let's
put a pin in that because we're going to get to that in a second. But let's give Marco and Tom a chance to comment on the Blood Axe Commando dudes.
I'm just going to say, because you just mentioned Tau, then Tau's already had their release, haven't they?
Yep, that's the pin we put in it. We'll get there in a second. Yeah. But I take your enthusiasm, Flynn, and I hope for the same. But my enthusiasm is cut slightly by what they did for Tau.
Yeah, I was going to say, at the time, I was thinking, what else are they going to do?
Gotcha.
As we know.
Okay, that's what you meant.
Go ahead of myself.
Having already said that, I don't like the general orc style. Haven't done so for many years. These are 10 out of 10. Awesome, perfect.
Oh, good. Okay, so you do like these ones.
Yep.
Nice. As Symbiote Joe says, solid gold. Next. I fully agree. I feel like this is like probably maybe the best Xenos release for 2021. I mean, we didn't get very much, but damn.
I'm just trying to see if they've actually been released separately yet.
They've not.
The terrain has.
So they hold on. Let's skip around a bit. So they released the terrain, really?
I think they did.
They talked about releasing another box that wouldn't have the terrain in it, that would just have the two squads and would have the mini rules. And I was like, good, that's the box I want to buy because I don't care about the terrain. And it'll be cheaper and it'll be a steal, but nothing. We haven't seen anything about that. So,
you think it'll be cheaper without the terrain?
Well, we'll see. You're probably right that it won't be cheaper, but as you said, like, let's see what they're going to do for Tau. And the answer is upgrade sprue. So this was the Tau release for 2021. Yeah. We threw an upgrade sprue into the Pathfinder box, bringing, when were the Pathfinders released? Probably like 2004 or something? 2003? I don't know.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
So I had similar feelings as you, Flynn, when those orcs came out. I'm like, this is amazing. We're gonna get like a gaunt kill team with like spike rifles and strangle webs in it, and then they released this, and I'm like, nope, we're gonna get a gaunt kill team with some conversion sprues in it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're even going to get NIDs in a kill team box.
Really, that's shitty. Not even the Lictor box.
The reason why I think it's going to be that we're not going to is, I'll get onto it later because obviously this is the last bit. But there is something which I've had to think about, which I think is the reason why we're not going to get them.
Okay.
It makes sense. It's easy to explain once we get to the last bit.
Okay, so we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Marco, how do you feel about the Tau upgrade sprue?
Actually, I've never taken a closer look at them and never realized that it's just such a lame solution. But of course, you can see that they're okay-ish, but certainly not as great as the orcs.
Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as devastating a blow as the Imperial Guard upgrade sprue, but
right.
it's fine. The guns are a bit ridiculous. It looks like they've just stuck extra bits onto existing guns.
Yeah.
I hate the female Tau heads, but that's my problem.
Yeah.
And to be clear, the problem that we have with the Imperial Guard's upgrade sprue is not that there's females in there. It's that it's such an old kit, and they're just like, oh, you're upgraded, you're fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were completely separate statements.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just know there's some idiots on the internet who took issue with that part, and that is not us. But it just, yeah, like the Cadians need to be updated, and it kind of gives you a peek at what Games Workshop thinks updating a kit is. Like, and this feels like...
I've heard like rumors that instead of replacing the Lehman Russ, which obviously they should do, they're going to release another tank that's like slightly bigger than a Lehman Russ. Just fucking replace it.
Oh, they're gonna Primaris it. We're not going to replace Space Marines.
So, yeah.
We're going to give you slightly larger Space Marines that you want to field more, and then eventually you'll just stop buying the old Space Marines, and then we'll discontinue them because no one's buying them. The Lehman Russ was around when I started the hobby. Like, when I showed up in 1997, the Lehman Russ was... And I know they've, like, upgraded it. They've added some stuff to that sprue, but it's the exact same design that it was in, like, pre-97.
It's so crazy. I mean, the really old models that work these days are the Falcon, the Eldar Falcon, and the Viper Jetbike. Those are still perfect, but everything else is just so dated.
God, I forgot how old the Falcon is, but that's a beautiful, beautiful kit.
The Falcon is 8 years old.
You know how we talked about the age of the models that they've given the upgrade sprues to so far? These guys were only done in 2017, the Pathfinders.
What? They redid the Pathfinders in 2017?
Yeah, because that's what it says.
Oh, they were pewter before, weren't they?
Yeah, because this is what it says on the website. It has Pathfinder Team 2017 for the box. But that could be when they repackaged it.
No, I think they repackaged it.
Yeah.
That's when they added the Breacher helmets, I think.
That was the Fire Warriors, wasn't it?
Oh, right. Never mind then.
Yeah.
The Fire Warriors were turned into Breachers at some point, but I think that the Pathfinders were plastic initially because didn't they come with they packaged them with the Devilfish?
I will correct myself. 2012 is when they were done. It's on the sprue. It says 2012.
That's weird.
So they just repackaged it in 2017. So like upgraded the box art, and that's how they class as a repackaging, because they have to change all the product codes on it all because it's a different box.
It's not a replace, is it?
They might have, because that railgun I think was already in there. They didn't add it for this.
No, so it was 2012.
So I guess in 2012 is when they got the railguns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Blitz is asking what's changed here. Just the heads, but I think some of the weapons, like the weird like med sprayer and
it's guns. It's as shoulder pads. They've put different. I think they've put some different shoulder pads in, and the heads mainly. If you actually go to the kill team box, because that's still available, I think it shows you the one extra sprue. Because I actually had to look to see have they actually come out yet or not, but they haven't separately. So none of the kill team models that they've done this year have come out.
No. Okay. Yeah, these are okay. Anyone have anything else they want to say about these? Oh, the only thing I wanted to say is that the one cool, amazing sleeper bit in this kit is the Bionic Arm. The guy in the bottom right has a Bionic Arm, and it actually looks really cool, but I think there's only one in there.
I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, and they painted it this kind of funky, like, pinkish, reddish, glowy for the cybernetics, and yeah, I really like that bit.
That's pretty cool.
Symbio Joe saying there's a dog, show the dog. I feel like that's probably Marco left for his dog. Maybe he'll bring him back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's already gone. Damn it.
Okay, yeah, so we're done with Tau. I mean, cool that there was a Tau release, but whatever. Back to Orc stuff. So we got this, like, Orc... What's it called? Oh, here's the Beast and Agus on their own. Okay, I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this this Orc box, which has the new copters, has the new boys, has the new boss. I feel like there's an order to do this in, and I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, so we just keep going the way we're doing it now.
Okay,
because
okay,
we've kind
okay.
of gone by like faction, so it works.
Okay, well, okay, then I'll jump around because we got these boys, and here's a better shot of like the individual boys with the knob in the kit. And I'm going to go back to a comment that Symbio Joe posted a while back saying, I like mainly all of the new orcs. What I do not like is the kill rig because it looks like a toy. I highly agree that this crazy ass thing looks like a toy.
That one there? Oh, yeah.
I can't.
It looks like someone...
Go ahead, Tom.
Like orcs are meant to look ramshackle and that kind of thing, but this is just bad designing, really, I think.
Mm-hmm. Flynn?
Because it looks something that, not to bash He-Man or anything, but it looks something that one of the villains in He-Man would have.
Yeah.
Or any 80s cartoon, any evil guys would have that sort of setup with one of the things.
Agreed. I don't like that it looks like it's going to tip over. Like it looks wider at the top than it is at the bottom. Like they're trying to squeeze it all onto that little base. I think that's bad design.
Like I'm not saying anything, like I've got nothing negative to say for the chunky boy pulling it.
Oh, he's cute. And he's got a good helmet.
For the rest of it. Yeah. He's a good boy, he's done nothing wrong.
I'll take the chunky boy out and use him himself, just
on
his own.
The chunky boy's cool. Except for I don't like that the kill rig is like bolted to his hip. It looks at the back.
Yeah.
That looks weird. That's a lazy solution.
But with a bit of putty, we can sort that out.
And like, I kind of like the weird head with the flaming eyes up on the Weird Boy tower, but and there's some cool like spikes around there, but just taken together, as Symbio Joe mentioned, it looks like a toy. Symbio Joe also.
If you've got loads.
Go ahead.
If you've got loads of spare orc wheels, this kit would probably be great for making some kit bashes.
Yep. Marco, there was a request to show your dog. I don't know if that's possible, but Symbio Joe wants to see your dog.
I can try, of course.
Doesn't have to be right now, but whenever you want. Yeah.
It says, Symbio Joe says it looks like it can shoot Nerf darts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like an 80s toy. It's got a Nerf shooter on it. And I really don't like this. So yeah, and then the other thing that Symbio Joe mentioned was that looks like there's something wrong with the Orc Boy heads, and I agree. I don't know if it's the noses or like what it is, just something about them, their faces look really weird to me.
They've all got some sort of bionics done to them, which just doesn't
I didn't notice
look right.
Do they?
That's a bit weird to me as well. It's a bit dissonant that like the Savage guys have more cybernetics. It just seems a bit odd.
Right.
Yeah.
Although the only guy I really love the Knob in this set. I think he's perfect, and he looks like straight out of like 2nd edition Goth Orc art. And I also really like the heavy stubber or whatever dude in the bottom left, because his helmet looks very very Goth, like 90s Goth. Oh look, it's a Poochie.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of these guys.
Yeah.
Of the
Just the
boys?
shape.
It needed to happen, didn't it?
Yes. But I feel like it could have been better. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you can use old bits. You can swap in old heads and stuff. It just gives you a lot more options.
They're bigger than the older orcs, so you're gonna have. Well, the heads I think will be the same size, but if you want to use the arms and stuff, it's not gonna work. Guns, yeah.
Heads are all sorts of sizes, though, aren't they? You know?
Yeah.
You don't really want to have like a pin-sized head on a huge body.
Well, like Gazkul.
I forgot about that.
Plenty of orcs have got pea-sized heads.
I'm getting distracted by Marco's goodest boys. They are the goodest boys.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Symbio Joe.
Symbio Joe is also loving the goodest boys.
And the girl. There's a girl.
Oh, goodest boy, goodest girl. Okay. Thanks for the dog interlude. I do not have my dog, and he would not
You're
be as good as
welcome.
your good one.
Your dog was so cute in the promo video recently.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I was
We've
just
had doggo
chilling.
content.
What?
Got doggo content. Yick.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's in his crate right now sleeping. I do not wake sleeping dogs. Marco's got the doggo content for us. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Marco, how do you feel about the new orc boys? I know you're not big on orcs.
They're okay, just not overwhelming me in any shape or form. They're just okay.
Okay.
They're chunky. They're a bit better than the boys used to be, but it's nothing new, nothing mind-blowing, nothing really interesting.
Yep.
I guess they're solid.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm
Sorry?
just pleased they did it. I'm just pleased they did it because it gives you hope for, you know, new gaunts and.
Right. They finally updated the boys, and they were in dire need of them. So David Nelson is saying, I think the faces take more from human proportions, which is uncanny on solidly orc bodies. That's a good observation.
Interesting point.
Yeah. Okay, so continuing our skipping around. So we had that. Did this split out? Oh, you can get the that new. This is something that I was told. I didn't know that orcs are hurting for a boss in mega armor. So this was a big deal when they released this dude. I like the little gunner on his shoulder. I always like shoulder gunner dudes. I don't know why they're showing it with this other boss, because that other boss is old, isn't it? The one with the claw?
No, that's a new boss.
Really?
well.
Yeah, they've kept this really quiet.
Oh. I didn't know that
But
was
he
a new
looks-
boss.
Yeah, he looks like one of the old ones. But with the Master Blaster orc, the one on the left, he
Yeah.
is basically so many other independent people have made that model. They've
Yeah.
put a
Yeah.
grot on top. It's like Workshop couldn't. I think they might have had it in a piece of artwork, and that's what they based it from. But it's just like other places have done it, and they've done it much better than this model.
Yeah,
Why am
I'm
I
not a
going to want to
fan.
buy yours when I can buy something that looks so much better?
Okay.
You go, oh, so you can use it in a tournament? I'll convert my own.
And then, wait, where was I going? Oh, and sorry, I just saw in this picture that there's an alternate build for that knob, the knob that has the big axe in the hand. There's another one here that's got a gun and a claw. Didn't really realize that. Jumping around, talking about shoulder gunners. Here is a dude with a shoulder gunner. The Savage or Beastnaga boss. What do people think about him? He's got his targeting squig. Are we all lost for words because he's not great?
We're just waiting for it to show up.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it wasn't
There we go.
green yet.
He's not chunky enough.
Are you kidding me? He's only chunk.
This guy's. I think this guy's a heap of shit.
Agreed.
Yeah. He'd be better for fantasy if they had not given him the claw or the hand or the targeting squig. He would be better for a fantasy orc.
I think he's
Down.
still too short. He's so like they did this with Gazgul, but they're so squat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm saying when I'm criticizing the whole range of orcs. They're getting more and more ridiculous. It's just like, look at the sword. It's nah.
Yeah. for the beast snaggers, so the beast snaggers for me didn't feel that squat like the actual boys, but this guy just feels like someone loaded a pile of crap on his back and he's like falling over under the weight. Like the only cool thing for me is that targeting squig, who looks cool.
Honestly, can you imagine this guy walking?
Well, Blitz says can't see him able to walk. I agree.
Yeah.
And even if he would walk, how would it look?
Don't know. I can see him putting his left leg forward and then just dragging the right behind him. It just does not. It's. You think of this guy charging? He's not going to charge. He's going to fall over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Brett just said that that other guy is not new. That there was a guy called Gruck Face Ripper. And I'm just pulling up the model. But maybe that was a pewter model and they remade it in glass? No, it looks like the same model.
Where was he from then? You can obviously tell we're not Orc players.
Yeah.
Are we on about the other war boss?
Yeah.
Because I know he's
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I know he's just coming out.
No, it looks... Hold on. I think they're re-releasing him or something. Because, like, you can find, like, lots on eBay of this dude selling already painted.
What was his name?
Gruck Face Ripper. Face Ripper.
The only things... There's only two places I think he could be from. One is the Assault and Black Reach box, but I highly doubt it's that one. But there was also a Space Wolf vs. Orc box. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Oh, that was the one that had Gazgul in it.
No, not Prophecy of the Wolf. Before 8th edition, there was a box.
I think this is an old model. There's a lot of pictures of it online.
I think it was like Stormfang or something.
Okay.
Storm Talent, something along those lines. But I think he is from that box.
Roughly when was that out?
That I think was out. It was definitely out during my break from the hobby, so anywhere from 2010 to 2016 it came out.
Okay.
So not chunk of time, but it's the only place I can think where it came out.
So people are saying that the Beast boss has a Megazord Snake Fist. I like that.
Yeah.
That description. We've also got his silhouette is a mess. He's just a lump of textures with a face. Agreed. Blitz says he needs a chariot or a mobility scooter. And Brett is saying that the Face Ripper dude came in a box with knobs. Just a normal box, not a special thing. Oh, Brett converted it 5 years ago, so it's definitely old.
Yeah.
Okay. So jumping around, this guy, the Beast Boss, is not great. This guy is like the best. Zogrod Wartsnaga, like not stumpy, very skinny, tall, gaunt, emaciated, cool claw. I think that this is just like gold A+ model.
Yeah. So yeah, it was 20. Stormclaw was the box set, and that's what he's in.
Okay. What do people think about Zogrod Wartsnaga?
I prefer his backstory. His backstory is better than any model they will come out with.
Okay.
It's just his backstory.
Yeah, he's the Grot supremacist, right? Which is pretty awesome.
Obviously, they can't really talk about it properly.
They've gone very subtle on the hair squig. Like,
he doesn't actually have a hair squig, apparently.
Yeah, he does.
Fuck off.
No, he's a stapled in.
Oh no, those are the teeth. We've talked about this before. Those are the teeth.
I know we've said it, but we would call it a hair squig. But they've actually come out saying it's not. It's stapled in. But it's like, no, it needs to be a hair squig because it makes it so much funnier because he's got one in his chin.
Logically, it could be a hair squig, yeah, but
yeah.
Marco, what do you think about this guy? Hat not fancy enough?
Absolutely perfect for me. And even though I criticized the large hair on Lelith Hesperex before, what this one is, works for me.
Nice.
You can tell he's crazy.
Agreed. I like that. We talked about these guys kind of before. Tom loves them. Everybody else, maybe not so much. I do like the double rider. I like having the grot on there, on the back, when they're like swinging the weapons and stuff like that. One of them looks like he's got a gun that shoots a squig. I didn't notice that before. Bottom left.
Just waiting for it to come up at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's about a 12-second delay or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the squig hogs.
Yeah.
That we talked about before.
Yeah,
they're all right.
But they're daft in a good way.
Yes. I think that's probably good. And then
yeah, the double riders are cool.
What else have we got? Oh, that's old. Oh, they got like a new rolling pin for their battle wagon. I have no idea.
Oh no, that was they put it all into one box.
Oh, it was a different box. And then they got. Go ahead.
They used to have it separately, and then they've gone like, you know what? We're not really selling much of it on its own. Put it in the box, up the price. Simple.
Yeah.
Nice. And they got the Big Ed boss bunker. Doesn't move me, but any Xenos terrain I'm all about.
Yeah, not much to be said about them.
Yep. Well said. Perfect.
Okay. Sorry, I feel like we should skip through this because Flynn has to go eventually. There's other stuff in here, but I think it's covered better. So we talked about the kill rig and how we want to kill it. This guy is my other fave, the Pain Boss.
Yeah, I remember that one when it came. Yeah.
And I think he's got a couple of different options because he's got that option with the weird snake head, but then he had a different one as well.
Yeah, you've still got all the options in there. It's because obviously it's like a mono-pose multi-option kit, is how I like to refer to them as.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has like the face mask, like the iron face mask one, and everything. It's the posing is going to be the same, but you can choose what you give to him for the pose.
I feel like whoever did the Pain Boss and whoever did Zogrod Wartsnaga should have been in charge of the whole orc line.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I've never seen the model before for some reason. I don't know why, but I really love it. Awesome.
They previewed it differently. It had the robotic mask kind of on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So this is the alternate build.
The grot is brilliant, I think.
Yeah, grot's pretty cool too. I mean, and I love that they're like putting like the thing they do with Nurglings and stuff like that, like chucking them in as like an also model, little cute things. I think that's awesome. Tom, what do you think about the Pain Boss?
Yeah, I like him better with the mask.
Yeah.
I used to have one of the first metal models I bought was that Mad Dog Grotsnick.
Nice.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's got, elements of that, which is cool. I like the, is the squig got like a IV coming out of it?
Oh, I didn't notice. I don't see.
I think he's...
The squig is the IV.
Oh, sorry, the squig is the IV, yes.
Yeah, he's an IV bag. I think.
Oh, man. I think you're right. I don't have the 360 on this one, but I think you're right. Oh, God, he's such a good model. This guy I like.
And on top, the grot is wearing the COVID mask like many people around here with
Not covering his nose, though. Not covering his nose. Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry, you meant he's wearing it in the style.
Exactly. We have quite a few of those people around here in our supermarkets.
Yeah.
And David Nelson says there's another snake fist.
Yes, the snake fist on the Pain Boss.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Wow. Holy shit.
So this guy, I don't love the rider, but I love the squig.
You don't love the rider? Really?
He's okay. He's okay.
I would take off a lot. I would take basically a lot of the stuff, the mechanical stuff, off the squig.
Yes.
Just to have it as a bigger squig, because
dude, put some armor plates on that and make it a Tyranid head.
Yeah, the teeth are quite symmetrical by the looks.
Yeah. Just figuring out which Tyranid, what sort of.
There you go. Put it on your Hierophant. Wait, there's the alternate build for this guy, right? Did they show it?
No.
I was thinking that would be a good head for like for an actual Haruspex. So instead of being like a technical more mess.
I would flip it upside down.
Yeah.
So that the chin is wider. I mean, is narrower than the top.
Yeah. Much better.
If you did it upside down, you can make a sluggy Haruspex.
Ooh.
Old school sluggy one.
Return to slug.
Return to Slug.
And that's the other head option.
Yeah. So, it's a different head. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I just thought the rider was different.
The Squig's face is the same. It's got a different neck.
Okay.
No, I think one's got a scar on the eye on it, doesn't it?
Well, that's the other
Is it?
eye. We can't. Hold on. Let's. Oh, I'm gonna scroll up.
I thought there was only one set of teeth though.
I think the
I don't
teeth
see
are the same.
this.
But I think
The scar
one-
would be on the other side of the white one, so I don't
yeah,
know. I don't want to go look it up.
I don't even know if he's been released separately.
Man, if there's two heads, then that kit is an insta-buy, because that's two Tyranid heads to rip off.
Yeah. Well, I'll go quickly have a look.
Oh, you have it?
No, I'm gonna go have a look in the workshop website.
Oh, gotcha.
If it has two lots of teeth, I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think so now because I've seen another little drippy bit on the picture here
oh,
coming up from the mouth, but let's still go to the website.
the other one's got a drippy bit. It's on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it actually released yet, or is it?
I have no idea.
Might be out of stock. Okay, it's temporarily out of
This was September, so I hope it was released. And I've seen people paint them.
Yeah, he's out of stock at the moment, but okay.
Will be for the rest of your life. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's
okay.
only one mouth bit, unfortunately.
Oh, Brett Evans says my main issue with the new characters is that their rules only really work with other Beast Snaga units. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Eric Christensen says just one head neck edition.
Yeah, I think it's just so you have the exhaust bit.
Right. Okay. Any other thoughts about this cool dude?
I do fucking love the rider.
Okay, good.
More machine than orc.
Is it the
Yeah,
machine
he's
that
so-
appeals to you, or what?
He's so mean and menacing. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't look as ridiculous for some reason. He's
One
really mean.
So one thing that Games Workshop has done with a couple of kits is that they've hidden bits of one kit in another kit.
Okay.
Like, if you go and you check out Catacross's base, I think it has bits of the Slaaneshi dudes on the base or something like that. And they've like, I think before they released the giants, the big giants, they put skulls of that scale on other bases. Anyway, it's been done in a couple of small places, but I really want the things on his back, on the Snakebite back banner, to be new Tyranid barbs from somewhere.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah,
Interesting.
because I remember when they had that actually in a rumor image without the little droppy bit. You know, the little teeth coming off it, and that did look like it was a tail weapon for a Nid. It could have been.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think it actually is from a Nid, but it's just being used as a trophy rack.
That'd be cool. They don't look like existing Tyranid bits to me.
Yeah,
They
I know
look
what
like-
I mean. If they're trying to hint at to future release, that was kind of
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. I hope they do that because they have done it before. Okay, let's move on from this guy. I think that's all the orcs in this preview.
Oh, there's one other bit. It's like this tattoo on his shoulder.
The what?
On the orc guy on his left shoulder, they've painted it's the tattoo on that. I hope that's just paint and not being it's like in the recesses of the
No,
model.
I hope that that's in the recesses because I would never want to paint it. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, but it's and if you were to try and paint it, you'd get annoyed the hell out of it. And
Well, I would.
if you think it was like you don't do the Marines, but when they have like the design already on the banner for it, it doesn't really give you the option for any more creativity to make your own bits.
Yeah, I
You're
think it's
stuck.
probably painted because if you look at the
I think
leg
it's
armor on
painted,
the
yeah.
squid, it's painted or the squig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone's just gone mental with the tribal stuff.
Okay, what are we doing here? We got the orc boys, we got the bosses. Oh, Death Coptas, this is a big deal. Apparently this is like
Yeah.
their orcs plastic lictor. They've finally released them. People have been waiting for these forever. They
Yeah,
came
because-
out, they got rid of them. You couldn't get them outside the Black Reach box or something, so I'm glad they're finally out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stops Orcs players complaining about when are we going to get this thing.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about these other than I like the missiles in the front. I think that's cool.
I really like that they don't need flying bases.
Oh, I didn't notice. Nice.
I'm just waiting for this.
Marco, what do you think about the Orc Defcopters?
I like the missiles, the front-mounted stuff. Otherwise, everything I don't like about the Orc range is amplified here. The helicopters are too tiny, the crafts are too tiny, the pilots are too big. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's overdue. They're great. There's little bits of character stuff in there, but it's
like the Orc boys. It just needed doing.
Yeah.
Way
overdue model to be released, and they've finally done it.
Good.
Like, cool, we've done it. What's next?
Still, for me, they missed their chance to get a good redesign. I think the engine body would need to be at least 50% bigger to make it look okay for me.
The engine bodies, like the backs?
No, the whole copter.
Yeah.
In regards to the pilot, just looks too tiny.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it's the one thing I think they did because of what happened with Black Reach Deathcopters. They learned to basically, all right, with new kits, we need to make sure that we can actually have these available separately at a later date. And
really, have they learned that? Because there's a lot of things that they haven't done that for.
So I'm on about the starter kit sets and stuff because all the additional boxes that they've done is because, well, yeah, if you, for example, if you want to get Venom Crawler or the new Chaos Knights for Fantasy, you have to start collecting box set. You're still able to purchase them. With the Deathcopters, you want to get the new you want to get the new Deathcopters. Yeah, you're gonna have to buy the old metal one. We don't sell the plastic ones, where you're gonna have to pay extortionate prices. They've now gone into the whole. Here it is, all released in one separate box, and if I know we don't like Marines, we don't talk Marines or anything, but they're doing that now with the Gravis Captain. They teased where people thought it was going to be something else, and the Ancient that they showed off the other day. It is. We're trying to get away. I think it's like we're trying to get away from this box set for it. We're charging that amount for it, where you're getting whatever, and just to get those two models. Where here you go, here's these two models. We're going to get rid of that as well. That's what I think is going to happen, and the Deathcopters, I think, is the thing that's started everything with it.
Okay. And I think that's it for releases for 2021. There's this guy who's not Xenos.
Oh wait,
no, there's
not put the Tau guy in.
Tau. Oh, was he released?
He got announced.
Oh shit!
I don't know if he's out yet.
I don't think you did because I thought I opened them all in here. No, I don't think so. Hold on, let me see if I can find him. What's he called? Dark Strider or something?
Dark Strider. Yeah, I thought he was on the list.
Oh yeah, that chappy.
Yeah, he's Tau upgrade. No, I didn't have him on the list. It's my fault.
Let's see if Games Workshop search works. Survey says
he's not released. It'll be in the story. Not the story.
I'm not finding him. Tau?
Yeah, it'll be in the. I don't know if he's one word or he's two words.
Oh shit.
Okay, post now.
Let's just look at every Tau release. Oh, here we go.
I think it's one word.
I can't spell Dark Strider, that's why.
Okay.
Dyslexia.
You guys talk about this guy. I really need to pee. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm
leaving it to you. He's a great model. I think he's awesome. Go for it.
I'm just waiting for.
Did he find it then?
Yeah, he's found it. I'm just looking at it.
Oh, wow.
Here it comes. There he is. This is very cool.
Yeah. Actually, the model is so good that I even think he might be a larger scale, like 54 millimeter or something. Really well done, well painted, everything perfect.
Like, you have to zoom in, but his little visor thing, they've painted a grid onto it, and it's ridiculously tiny.
I sort of see it now.
Yeah. Mad skills.
Impressive, if I do say so myself. And he isn't released yet, Finn? Flynn? Flynn is gone again. Tom is down on our boat now.
I don't think he's released yet, but I don't really know.
Yeah, he's not out yet. Sorry, again, 5th member attacked.
Yeah. So what's he for kill team or for 40k?
He'll be for 40k to replace the existing Death Strider model. I think the existing one was either originally metal or he was put into Finecast. And as we all know, Games Workshop are trying to get away from anything metal and anything Finecast. Because the whole way it works is anything in plastic for any models released is stuff they're going to be able to do in large quantities, and they're expecting it to. And then anything they release in like metal or resin is low number orders. So even with Forge World, some of them they only make 2 order. They don't even like make it in to have just sitting in the warehouse because it will take up too much space. So, right, if you look at the Tau Mantas, they're I think it's under like 200 or something sold of those at the moment. Because like when you buy one, it gets put into you get the number list put on there of this is number 159 that's sold. Whereas if you go to, for example, a Melanthrope or a Karen, that will be in that the thousands sold because of how good the models were. People would want to buy them. I think
I'm surprised we've sold that many Mantas, to be honest.
Yeah, I think people mainly buy it as either as like a big project to do, or
the flex.
The flex, yeah, the status of it. Like, oh, you've got this. I've got a Tau Manta. Like you've got a Warlord Titan. I've got a Manta, and I painted the inside. It's just a proper flex, and it's just like a whole. Yeah, but are you ever going to be able to use it?
I imagine, like, out of those 200, at least 100 are just still in the box.
Oh yeah,
I guess so.
I'm thinking it's going to be one of those. Oh, the mold broke. Yeah, we're not going to fix it because we don't sell enough of this.
Whoopsie. Yes, certainly.
That's what I think happens to a lot of molds when they break. They go, like, for certain units, like, oh, it's broken. Yeah, we're not going to make this. We're trying to fix this one. We don't sell enough. Bye. Like,
limited edition.
Yeah, it's like with the Tyranid Terrain that they used to do. Oh yeah, the mold broke. Yeah, we're not making any. We're not going to fix it. Even though people have been calling out for it for years. And like the busts they used to make. Oh yeah, the mold broke. Yeah, we're not making another one. All of them. It's just like, why not just do it? Because people would actually buy them.
Actually, Blitz Mechanica on the chat has some good observations right now. You notice that on the Tau model there's no space between the fingers, and once you see it, it's quite noticeable, isn't it?
Yeah, but is that a glove though? Is what it meant to be wearing.
But it looks really weird. That hand.
It looks a bit blobby if you look too closely.
Agreed.
Yeah, but there's another point that Blitz makes is, like, do you think GW will ever release 3D printed models?
No.
Now,
they can't sell them.
Here's the thing I think they would do. They wouldn't release individual models. They would release, like, shoulder pads or little things where it's, you can't make a model out of this, but we can go, you're going to have you want to have like an ultramarine symbol on a certain make of shoulder pad that we don't do at Forge anymore. Well, we've got the file here. We can easily convert it into an STL, so you can purchase it and then print off the shoulder pads that you want. That's the only thing I think will be like little accessories which they don't want to spend the time on making a mold for everything. Just go like, yeah, here you go. But you can't buy any. You can't put it on a full model.
You know, it'd be good if you know how you get transfers with kits.
Yeah.
If you could buy a box of Marines, and with it there'd be a code to be able to find these downloadable shoulder pads and stuff for them.
Oh, that's interesting. Marco, what do you think?
Nice. I mean, too nice.
Well, yeah, Tom, do you think the game, like answering that question, Tom, do you think the Games Workshop will ever release 3D printed models or sell 3D print like STLs or anything like that? What do you think?
I don't see it happening. No.
Marco?
Well, as I said, I haven't looked into my orb yet. But in the foreseeable future, of course not. I'm not sure they can really prevent going into the future at one point. Like in 10 years or something, the world will have changed drastically. So who knows? Right now, certainly not. Because of course, they squeeze as much out of the market as they can. And why should they?
Oh, I'm happy to see Dakafaka Flame here. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Dakafaka Flame. Hello and welcome. Personally, I would be shocked. The way I see Games Workshop and 3D printed models is Games Workshop is trying as hard as they can to pretend that 3D printers don't exist and that STL files don't exist. They don't want to mention them in any of their publications. They don't want to publicize 3D printed pieces. I feel like it's very much a like put your fingers in your ears, la 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 la. I can't hear you, and then like try to control their own biosphere and keep people from realizing these things are out there. But unfortunately, the biosphere exists on the internet, and you can't avoid finding out about 3D models and 3D printers in 40K communities. And I can't think of a way that Games Workshop could sell an STL, because honestly, as soon as you try to sell an STL, someone's going to find a way to like contravene it or pirate it or whatever, and it's going to go out there and people are going to distribute it. They're going to print it for free. Like, unless there's some kind of crazy digital resource management system that they develop for STL files that actually works, but I can't imagine what that would be.
Yeah, it's a big problem anyway, because it's like, I could buy an STL file and go, oh yeah, this is great for like using for whatever. Here, do you want to have it? Yeah, here you go. It breaks what the terms and conditions of purchasing it, but how was the thing I bought it from ever going to know I put it on a USB stick and gave it to someone else? Because you couldn't be able to put it on a USB stick to print it at a 3D printer. So what's to stop me just putting it on a USB stick and giving it to someone else?
Yeah, and like I've bought STL files from Dark Fanatic Mills. I think they do like a Firebase kind of like pillar and wall section, and I paid for them because I want to support what they're doing. But it is the case that like I gave them to a friend of mine who had a printer because I don't have a printer, and he printed stuff for me. Like he printed the stuff and he was like messing with it, and then my brother was like, hey, can I get that file because my buddy in Japan has a printer? And I was like, yeah, sure, but like don't distribute it or whatever. And because like I don't have a printer, but it can very easily get out there, and this is why I'm not really interested in doing though I might do 3D sculpting myself, I don't think I would ever try to make money off of selling 3D sculpts, because people do. Like Piper, what's Piper's name? Piper Makes Things, who does amazing Tau. They distribute their STLs. I know that I think St. Vincent, I always call her St. Vincent, St. Decent distributes her STLs. But a lot of those people, they'll distribute them in a Patreon. So pay me Delta, Hive Fleet Delta.
Yeah.
Pay me a subscription for a Patreon, and then I will give you the files. So they're getting paid monthly from these people, but they're not trying to sell the files, because as soon as they're out there, they're out there. Like you can give them to anyone.
It's as soon as you've got the files, it doesn't have like a timer on there of, oh, you got to put in a new code every month to keep the files unlocked. It's just, I have
and
the files.
That's not I wouldn't want a system like that. Like that would be a bit, but I think you just have to accept that if you're going to make a file and you're going to put it out there, it's going to get to everyone. You can't control it. You can't stop it. And I don't think Games Workshop would be comfortable with that level of distribution.
That's the only thing I think. It'd only be accessories if they ever did it, because we're not going to give you our full model. Here's the accessory for like a shoulder pad.
I mean, they don't even get out a White Dwarf PDF subscription.
Ah, they used to,
Do
but not
they?
anymore.
I don't think so.
They
Do you know
used
why?
to. Warhammer
No
Plus.
reason why. Exactly. They
Let's
want
not talk
everything.
about Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, right. Let's
Also,
make up a fake name for Warhammer. Let's call it Warhammer. Let's call it Fanhammer Minus. I don't know.
I was just like, no. The only thing with that is, I have a subscription to it. I can easily give you guys my login details, and you can go wild on it. That's a problem they've got with it. It's like Netflix. People always share the Netflix codes. People are going to share their Plus codes. So, what really can they do?
Okay.
Did you guys already talk about this guy's feet?
Fifth member attacked me again, so I don't know.
Sorry? Oh, you got booted? Shit. That's why Marco took over. Good work, Marco.
Thanks. So,
but
what would you like to say about his feet?
Don't Tau have split hooves? These look like non-split hooves. Like they have. I thought Tau had cloven hooves or whatever, but this guy just has look like Tyranid kind of hooves. His feet look weird. I don't know.
They just look like shoes on him.
Are they shoes? But they have like the striation on them as if they're like the lines on a hoof. Sorry, Symbiojo. I've got a foot fetish apparently. Every time a model comes out, I'm like,
look at the feet.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Oh, but Symbiojo made a good observation talking about the whole 3D printed thing. It has to be like music, super convenient and cheap. Both attributes that do not make me think about Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a good little diversion. Thanks. Go ahead.
I mean, as I said, White Dwarf these days is basically vaporware. It's printed, it's gone. It's a thing of the past. And not even with this, they dare to go more public, which I think would be a good move actually. Because if I would be Games Workshop, I would make White Dwarf copyable. And of course I would sell it, but then I would see that as many people as possible read it every month because it's promotion.
Well, I think what we can extrapolate from Warhammer Plus is, sorry to talk about it, Tom. What we can extrapolate from War Manor Minus is that they are not. What you're describing, Marco, is is one kind of marketing strategy. Put your stuff out there; it will get popular. More people will discover it, and I agree with that. But I think what we see with Warhammer Plus is that they have taken a strong bent away from that, because you have all these amazing videos on YouTube, and like fucking Emperor's text-to-speech bullshit. Like, sure, that might have been funny, but like so many people, when there was like a cease and desist from Games Workshop to turn that down, turn it off, so many people were like, oh, but Games Workshop, this is free publicity, and like the shit kind of posting. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this thing. It was on YouTube. It's basically the South Park of Warhammer 40k. It's not in the vein of how Games Workshop would be talking about their world, their products, anything like that. And anyone who has done any work in branding, marketing, knows that you don't. People are like, any exposure is good exposure. That whole Marilyn Manson thing, any publicity is good publicity. That's not how you think about brand when you have to manage a brand. And I would say that something like Emperor Text-to-Speech is not helpful of Games Workshop's brand as much as fanboys might like to believe that it's going to get people into buying Space Marines. But something like Astartes is going to sell a fuckload of Space Marines. And Astartes is within the brand. It's not shit posting. It's not making fart jokes, penis jokes, or whatever. It's just like badass Space Marines kicking ass and taking names. Like, you watch Astartes, you're going to be like, this is cool. I want to get in on this. Like, let me see this. But Games Workshop took it off YouTube and they put it behind a paywall. And who's going to pay for the paywall? Only people who are already in the hobby. So people have made that argument that Games Workshop is chosen a certain marketing approach or a certain IP management approach where they want anything that refers to their IP to be protected. So I think that as they've done with YouTube, where they've taken any fan-made video stuff, brought it inside their paywall, and made sure only people that are paying them can watch it. That's what I think of when Marco talks about making White Dwarf more distributable and copyable. The other side of that is, let's make sure as many people as possible can see this, can watch this, can read this, and we'll get more people into the hobby. And I think that that can work, and that could work with videos on YouTube, and that could work with STL files, I guess. Like, let's give these away, people get interested, and then they'll come. But I don't see Games Workshop doing it because they've already shown us how like worried they are about having their stuff out there for free.
So yeah, there was one actually that got taken down, which was brilliant. Was Death of Hope.
Death of Hope?
Yeah, that was like a fan animation one as well.
Yeah.
That one was amazing when I first saw it.
Yeah.
It was by Spark Art Life, so it's Mark Lewis Spark.
Yeah.
Still got part 1 up, but it was a brilliant animation from what when I watched it. At 20 minutes for part 1.
Okay.
Was working like part 2 for like best part of a year, and then obviously the new IP rules came out, and then it tries to keep going with it, and then it's just like, yeah, I think it got cease and desist or something. It can't continue it, and it was like, this was going to be the plan. We got this far, and then obviously we can't do any more. We can't even release what we've got, and yeah, it was a bit more grim and dark, but it was a good way of getting people interested as well.
And like, I understand that. Like, I'm trying to talk about brand, managing your brand. And though I can say that like Astartes is something that would definitely be like helpful to the brand, the reality of IP and brand management is that you can't be like, yeah, Astartes, you're cool. No, wait, Emperor Text-to-Speech, we're taking you down. But you're going to stay up. Like, I understand that you got to take kind of like a banhammer approach and protect everything or protect nothing. But I think there are better distribution channels than Warhammer Plus to make sure that people who aren't already into the hobby find out about the hobby. Like putting it on Netflix, so that if you're just on Netflix and you're like, hey, here's this cool thing with these dudes in power armor, like, what's this all about? You're more likely to catch people who are not in the hobby versus Warhammer Plus. Like, you want to get someone into the hobby and you're like, hey, you got to subscribe to this thing for $70 a year or something like that. If you're just getting into it, are you really going to do that? So it just feels like curtailing their possible audience growth in lieu of just providing content to people who are already a part of the community.
Yeah. Just because so Brett Evans talks about text-to-speech, like saying it's really only funny if you know the lore, and it's not even funny. And then Peter Hansen's gone, the irony is that text-to-speech device was quite popular with his local GW employees. Like, I can understand it. It's like, because I watched it, and I liked it for what it was. It was a satirical take on the satiricalness of 40k originally, and it was like a way of, some people found the hobby that way, watched it. The first few episodes actually were good. It's just as it went on, it was becoming something else, not being as ironic. They were developing their own storyline. So it was like, well, your original bit of being like a funny take on stuff has just kind of gone sideways. And even with this storyline of what's happening in the actual lore or fluff or whatever you guys want to call it now for the actual game, the actual Warhammer story, it went off in a different direction to what text-to-speech device was in. So it was like, you can easily tell the original idea of it was based on this, but where both of them have gone from completely different directions. But if you were someone new, you'd think, oh, this is what Warhammer is. And then you'd go and actually go to a Games Workshop and go like, you'd make those jokes and it'd be like,
they're like, what are you doing?
No, that's not it. But the other bit is, some people they did 2 different role plays, like the RPG adventures they did with some of the cast members, and they actually quite funny, because it was like, we're taking it to setting an our part of what Warhammer 40k is, and just being funny with it. And the other one was, we're doing the actual first mission from the new role-playing bit for fantasy, and they were just like, yeah, let's end. We can't really make anything more now. We're ending it there, but we're going to try and do our own projects now. So they're doing the own RPG guys are doing something else, but still taking part in what the new thing for the text-to-speech guys is, which they only released earlier this week or last week. This month. I haven't had a chance to watch it myself, but it was enjoyable at start, and then as time's gone on, it's just changed into something else where you were interested in the storyline, but it's not there. But as I'm going to read the message from chat, but Diaconis says, doesn't think TTS did anything wrong. The dude was not making 20k a month, I promise you.
So,
to be fair,
okay.
I know you looked at this before.
We've talked about this before.
I don't want to go into too much detail on it.
I spoke to someone who works on TTS, and they told me that before it exploded with like all the like cease and desist and all that, that the dude was making 4k a month. Yeah. Which is a decent amount of money to make off of someone else's IP. The defense that this person gave me, who's involved with it, they said, oh, but you got to understand, he's got a video editor, he's got like a sound editor, he's got voice talent, and he's paying these people, he's giving them money. And at the end of the day, that's a lot of money to make off of someone else's IP. And like, as someone who like kind of circuitously works near brand, you got to have really big cojones to let someone else make that much money off your brand. Like, you got to be real secure. And we've seen Games Workshop is not secure. Like, they're not okay with... And, like, people will cite, like, the examples of... What is it? Is it, like, Bungie, Halo, whatever, and, like, Red versus Blue? Or, like, they did, like, a what's it called? That thing where you take computer games, you make a video out of it? A movie out of it? Mishima? I don't know.
Mishima.
There you go. Thanks, Mishima. Like, there are studios and brands that embrace video content creators and encourage them to take their IP and make cool things out of them. Those studios are way more established than Games Workshop is. And they're also working in a different space than Games Workshop is. And we've seen from the history that unless they change significantly, Games Workshop is not comfortable with people contravening their IP in any way. So, I cited the fact of how much TTS was making when this all happened, because everyone was spinning it as like poor little dude trying to support his family on this, and then big evil Games Workshop has taken it away from him. And like, honestly, I believe then, and I still believe now, that you shouldn't base your monthly income on ripping off someone else's IP. And people said to me, they're like, you base your monthly income on ripping off someone else's IP because you do commissions. And it's like, no, first of all, I have a job. This is not my job. And painting models for someone is not ripping off IP. Like, when you take their art and you like recreate it into something entirely different, like, that's a different lens than making models for people or like painting models and getting paid for that. Like, Games Workshop is never going to come after someone who does like commission paint jobs on their models, because they're, at the end of the day, they're still selling models. Anyway.
Yeah, it's because obviously I didn't know about the whole, it went massive with the whole money coming in, but I just knew they would have to get the money in to pay for editing and the artwork and everything else. But they're still saying he is making money off the IP, but it's the whole thing of, I think the reason why they changed the IP thing was to protect, I'm going to call it peace nail negative for that, but it was also to try and have it of like stricter things of, no, we're going to go after people who make 3D casts of our models to make us go have stricter rules against recasters and all the other stuff, not just for animations. Because what they would do is, we'll send you a cease and desist, or you can come and take part in creating shows for us. That's your two choices.
Also, to clarify, sorry, I misrepresented this. As far as I heard, TTS never got a cease and desist. Games Workshop changed their policy. Everyone freaked out, and then people took proactive action to stop making stuff based on Games Workshop IP. They decide. Yeah. He posted a thing where he said like, "Oh, this is not sustainable. Like, I try to support my family on this. Like, if this is the tack that Games Workshop is going to take, we can't do this anymore." But they never got a cease and desist. They just saw the writing on the wall, thought maybe we're going to get a cease and desist. Let's shut this down early.
So basically, yeah.
And then made a buttload of money off of it. Like, that was when the Patreon contributions went up to 10,000. And like, I'm pretty sure the way Patreon works is that when you pledge that, they take the money out of your account. They don't wait till the end of the month and then take the money out of your account.
No, Patreon is the end of the month.
If I start sponsoring you, it takes it out at the end of the month. It doesn't do it right away.
So it takes. So
I know
like,
going
if you-
forward, but
I think when it works out, if you get any rewards and stuff, it waits and the following month it starts. So and then it takes it out, I think, the same day every month for you. But
okay.
the way it all is it was a whole shit show. But it was like, we don't want to get a cease and desist, or we don't want to get any copyright notices on our channel
Yeah.
for the content, because if if we get a copyright strike, we have to wait X amount of time before we can upload something else. Everything has to get reviewed. If we get another one within that time, even if it's a false one, the channel could get completely taken down.
Yeah.
I'll have
Yeah.
to.
They
if
were
I wanted
protecting
to,
their channel. Like they
Yeah.
didn't want to infringe that. And like it was also the case that there's some tool where you can check how much someone makes in advertising on YouTube, and everyone says that it's not accurate. This is not at all what they make. But like, my channel is monetized. I make peanuts, very small peanuts. I went and I looked up my channel on this device or this service. It was pretty accurate to the peanuts I make. It said Mr. Pink makes peanuts, and I'm like, yeah, that's about as much peanuts I make, like less than $100. Well, whatever. Anyway, and then I looked up what he was making in advertising, and it was thousands of dollars. So even if it wasn't accurate, it was still money. Like, it wasn't just the Patreon. There was money coming in from the Patreon. There was money coming in from the YouTube. Okay, sorry. So Diaconus, I feel like we're going down a hole, but like Diaconus just said, even at 10K a month, I bet you that dude was working on TTS 50 plus hours a week. Sure, but that doesn't make it okay. You choose. You can. I wouldn't spend 50 hours a week contravening someone's IP, because that's a rug that's going to be pulled out from under you. And the fact that he's spending $50,000 on it doesn't make it okay. You can spend $50,000 pirating movies. You could make your whole like income on pirating movies. That doesn't make pirating movies acceptable. And get it, like we've probably all dabbled in some version of piracy, but you can't do that and then come to people and say, guys, the studios are shutting me down. Can you believe this? I support my kid and my wife on pirating movies. Like, you knew when you started that you were pirating movies, and maybe they didn't fully know that what they were doing. Maybe they honestly thought that it was within the realm of satire and they could get away with it. But that was another thing where they're like, we believe this is satire, but we can't afford to like push that forward and like defend that position. It seems like a precarious place to stand. And I didn't agree with everyone being like, this poor person getting taken down by Big Massive Games Workshop, because I feel like they should have seen it coming. Anyway, this was not where I wanted to go with this. Holy shit.
Yeah. Fronty part over. Let's go on to the next model or thing.
Thanks. Shit shows all around. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Just copy and paste Nick's.
What? One more time?
Copy yours.
Yeah, I said if you want my opinion, just copy and paste Nick's.
Okay, gotcha. Tom, when we were doing all the 3D talking, I wanted to ask you, because I don't know if I've ever asked you, would you ever consider doing 3D sculpting? Like, does it appeal to you at all?
I do prefer just doing things with real materials.
I agree. Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
Sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was curious as to how you felt about that. Okay, on to the assless chaps, as Symbio Joe mentioned. So those were all the releases for 2021, but we want to look forward to 2022 because there's some cool Xenos that's coming up in 2022, and it's been previewed. Starting with the Eldritch Omens box, which is finally what they've been building to with all the rumor engine stuff, new Eldar models. And we got a bunch of these things previewed over the like 25 days of Christmas or whatever that they did. There was also some chaos in there. But yeah, we wound up with 3 new kits previewed. The Ranger jet bikes, which is a new type of jet bike called a Raptor. We got the Rangers themselves. They call them, oh yeah, Asuriani is the new Eldar, whatever. And then we've got the Autark model. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Autark. I don't know. So let's start with this one. What do we think about the new multi-part Autark, which they say has a bunch of weapon options, including some secret ones or something, and certain other still secret options. I don't know why there are still secret options unless they're like previews of kits that are coming out that she represents. I don't know. What do you guys think of the Autarch?
I'm not too happy with the pose.
Okay.
It's just standing too stiffly for me to be an interesting character model. I guess with multiple options, it's gonna be okay. The details are good, but the pose is, for me, just too lame.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, it's a very obvious boss pose, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same pose as the old one?
No idea.
I thought the old one was standing kind of like presenting kind of like that. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's cool. Like I don't think it's terribly exciting because as you said, it's a pretty standard boss pose. Oh yeah, here we go. It's literally the same model, just made in plastic. So we can see that the old Autarch, they apparently was fine cast, is standing on the same kind of like upturned rock.
The
tactical rock. Yeah, we got the tactical rock. So very similar, the two of them. And I can kind of see why. Sorry, go ahead, Flynn.
So that's just basically the same identical pose with the stance.
Exactly. And I can see why, because when you do a pose like this, it's very easy to swap in and out model weapons.
Yeah, of course.
Like there's a chain sword that was also previewed. I guess that's going to be in the right hand. And then there's it says there are 4 different ranged weapons. Yeah, they said there's 4 different ranged weapon options. We've seen 3. You get a Starglaive or a Scorpion Chainsword in one hand, and your pick of 4 ranged weapon options in the other. So the only secret, they say there's like secret options. I guess there's one more ranged weapon option that's a secret. Like, what could it be? I don't know.
Or something like that. Well, obviously, I don't even know that because it's one of the weapons I remember from playing years ago.
Was what? A D
cannon? It was.
Oh my god, I can get a D cannon? Holy shit.
So I think the Wraith Guard had, and I just remember they just tore my units apart when I played against it. It was so annoying.
Okay.
But
I do remember a time when the D-Cannon was a weapon that just didn't care about your toughness or your wounds or anything at all because you were just teleported into outer space.
Yep.
But I guess it could be a Shrieker cannon too.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it could be a, but like, why would they hide it? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's the one option they won't show, and it's secret. So I was wondering if it could be something like a weapon from the, those Forge World Spectre dudes, and that maybe it's like the confirmation that they're making a plastic kit for them, or maybe it's like what's the Weaver? The ones that the Warp Spiders have? They have like some kind of Weaver. So I was trying to Shadow Weaver, yes. So I was trying to find a weapon option that might confirm another model, and that's why they didn't show it to us. But I don't know if I'm reading too much into it. I probably am.
I think you are.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so boss pose. Let's move on to the assless chaps. Which isn't to say that these chaps have no ass. It's that these guys are wearing weird tights that don't cover their butts, but that's okay because there's a cloak there. People have gotten into this.
They go to the same clothes shop as Sigvald.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think of the Rangers?
I like them. Like,
thumbs up, awesome. Good scouts, very solid, perfect.
Yeah. I like the one with the little drone thing there. Eldar's getting its own drones, not just Tau anymore. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with these. I also like the Eldar half mask on the guy with the, there was a guy or gal, I'm not sure, with the spotter scope.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's really cool.
does anyone know what the little statue in the middle is?
No. Wait, does it say? Equipped with long rifles and chameleon cloaks, let them obscure from enemy units. Rangers are the craft world's forward scouts. Some of them prefer to zoom around. Nope. I don't know. I was wondering.
I think it does.
Where? Oh, up here? No.
I seem to remember it saying maybe it's on one of the asterisks at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Cute little statue represents Coronuus, the god of the hunt. But why?
It could be what they're doing now with some kits. It's with the, how we said it earlier, with the Nurglings and stuff. It's like the Nurglings, Grots, and with the Genes of the Familiars. Here's something else to go in the box as well that you could use for whatever you want to use it for.
Like, that's cool.
Unless it actually has rules.
Get it. I guess it could be. I was wondering if it could be like a hidden deployment marker or something, but then why would you show your hidden deployment location?
It could be something you could purchase to use as something extra. So, for example, you could do the old teleport home beacons. You threw that down on the field, and you had to have something to represent it. So that could be something they need to put down to represent it. As I'm pulling at straws here, but we don't know until the actual codex comes out. But I have a theory that's going to be February time. It's going to. No,
I think it's probably going to be a lot later than that. They haven't even released the Genestealer Codex, have they?
It's a reason why I think it, and that's in the last bit. I think we'll go through the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's really cool they put the sculpture in there. I don't know what it's for, but I'm glad that they're adding additional stuff like that. And yeah, the jokes about assless chaps are because of their weird tight things that they wear. What are those called? Gaiters?
Embrace?
I don't know. Like the fabric over their legs. I think they look really cool. I don't see the assless chaps thing. I just think they're funky. I have no problems with those kits. And then the one that Marco wanted to talk the most about. Marco?
Yes.
Lay it on us.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is that it?
I don't see a picture yet.
Oh, so, wait, okay.
Bring it up.
Talking about the jet bikes. The Ranger jet bikes.
You do know that I used to play with the same Han army before every other army in
I forgot
tournaments.
that. But it's red, so it's red and black, so I should have known.
Yeah, of course. I actually used to win a tournament with the same Han army in 2nd edition here in Germany, which netted me my first armor cast Reaver Titan as a prize.
Jeez.
And I nearly won at the Grand Tournament in Nottingham with my same Han army. I made 4th place.
Nice.
But yeah, those are all kinds of awesome. I just love how the flowing cloaks enhance the speed of the jet bikes, and yeah, it's everything for me.
That's a good observation.
The duality of the pilot and the rider just enhanced the whole concept. Just love it. I wonder if the hoods of the jetpack should be a little bit longer. But I'm not sure.
I think that would look good if the hoods were a little longer.
I suppose it might be a limitation of the plastic kit in the sprue, because I also think they should be a bit longer as to the aspects of the whole model. But I just love them to death. Yeah,
something like the Harlequin jet bikes. They have a longer canopy, don't they? Yeah? No? Hello?
How about you?
Tom, how are you feeling about them?
Like, I'm excited for new aspect warriors. So I was quite excited about the Eldar teasers and stuff, but I think Scouts is like the least exciting thing they could have released for Eldar. Yeah, they're fine.
Is that they're using the recon units to gauge our opinions on the designs? But they are a lot more dynamic than the older models. there's a lot more thought and care put into it. So, as I said earlier, like when they had those Orc Commandos, you're like, okay, what are they going to do with the others? Obviously, the Tau we were disappointed with. They've done a good Dark Strider, but that's only one model. But with all of the Eldar stuff that's come out, it's going like, okay, expectations have been raised for the aspect warriors and the Guardians. However, because of what we saw with some of the other Orc models, they're being tempered a little bit.
I see what you're saying. That these could be the coolest models of the line, and the rest could be kind of like phoning it in like the rest of the Orc line.
Or also it could be the standard kit, the troop choice that we're always going to have loads of. They're not going to be they're not going to be as inspiring to draw your attention because you can have loads of them. You're not if you have it's the whole thing of you're going to paint it really well because you've got such a cool model, or you're going to be like, okay, I'll get these ones done, but I want to work on that really cool unit and spend more time on that. But if you put too much detail on a standard troop unit, you're going to be putting people at a whole. Trying to figure the word for it is challenging them basically. To go like you want to paint these higher to a higher level, putting them in a conundrum of, but I want them other things to stand out more, so I'm going to have to paint those to even higher level. But if they're not, if they don't believe they're at that level of painting, it's going to push people away, I think. So.
Well, I'd say that like Eldar as a line though always has like a lot of details on them, like all the spirit stones, all the like armor plates, all that kind of stuff. It's not a Space Marine. Talking about painting, it's not like painting a Marine. And I hope that doesn't scare people off. And I hope they're not making decisions about whether to put detail on a model based on like, well, you know, that's a lot of stuff. Because like, look at these jet bikes. That's a lot of stuff to paint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like hopefully with the Guardians, it's not. They're still good, but they're not over the top good. So it's going to be a stumbling block for people. Because you want people to come in and enjoy a new army, and especially if they're newer to the thing, you don't want to see. Because you don't want to go like, oh, Space Marines, they look easy to do. I'm going to do those. You want people to choose different armies.
People choose for different reasons. Like if I was coming in, I would look at Space Marines and be like, wow, those are boring and plain. Like look at these guys over here. They got all these weird like cloaks and guns and stuff. Like that would appeal to me more.
A lot of people I see choosing Admech a lot more on their first army because you're like, oh, look, cool robot men, but then like all cool bionic stuff rather than Space Marines.
Which is a high detail army, right? There's a lot of details on those dudes.
So hopefully it's not going to be too much detail, but they're still going to look amazing to draw people in. So no, just see WJogo. That's a lot of stuff to paint, says the man who creates giant Tyranid monsters.
Got a point.
Good point. And you've creates giants and Tyranid monsters, yeah. But,
so Eric Christensen said that the statue is probably a squad upgrade marker, which might be cool. Symbio Joseph, tell me you steal handbags without telling me you steal handbags. I don't get what that's a reference to. Diaconus says all the new Eldar stuff looks exceptional, but they could have made it look more different than the current sculpts. I don't know if I agree with that because it would be cool to have something completely different, but I think a lot of people think the Eldar sculpts have persisted because they're shit. Or no, because Games Workshop is lazy, doesn't want to change them. But I honestly think they've survived. Like, as Marco said, the Falcon, the Viper, they're good sculpts. They're not janky. They're not wrong. The proportions are nice. They look like fast and sleek and all those cool things. So I wouldn't want them to go like weird and different just for the sake of weird and different. But it is the case that when I saw the Howling Banshees, I wasn't moved by them. Because I'm like, this just looks like a plastic version of the Finecast model.
Yeah, but if a good design works, you're not going to change it. And the older designs are good. It's just the models are older. So why check with the old phrase? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the elder models, the designs aren't broken.
I disagree to a point. The Falcon and the Viper are not good models; they are great models.
Okay.
For me, they are still the all-time classics of a 40k range, which haven't aged a bit, not at all. They're pitch perfect.
I was wondering if you thought. Sorry, go ahead, Flynn.
the only model I think they've actually properly redesigned, or two of them, maybe three, are the Wraith Lord,
Yep.
Wraith Guard, and the War Walkers. They're the only ones that have actually had changes to them that were needed.
The Wraith
Because
Guards
old
are
Wraith,
still similar, but they're just in plastic. Like the old
course.
models were similar.
Yep.
they've not got like, their hands aren't stupidly oversized as they were.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look as blocky. They're more, they look like they could actually move. They're more elegant as the Eldar models
Probably.
are.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the Eldar line. I just want to see it in plastic and like update it a little bit. Like I think warp spiders could be really cool if they did them in plastic and they modified them a bit.
Just as Tom said, the aspect warriors, none of them are really great as they should be. For some weird reason, the original Just Goblin sketches are still way beyond any model ever released.
Yeah.
And it's just waiting for us to get done one day.
I'm really worried that the Howling Banshees are an indication of the way they're going to go with the Aspect Warriors.
Yeah.
That they're just going to be plastification of the existing models. Because like the Striking Scorpions, I love the Striking Scorpions, but they could do a little more with them than what they're doing.
Absolutely.
I think with the Elder ones, they came out in 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The
Banshees.
So they've had over nearly 2 years then basically of design time on them. So they could easily have.
Well, it doesn't always work that
gone,
way. Like you see it sometimes when like Darren Latham like posts something.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Oh, I designed this a few years ago, but it's now been released."
Yeah. The ones I've seen, I've done that earlier this year, and it's finally come out.
I fully believe that, like from a project management perspective and like creative project perspective, that these were probably all done together. Like, we're doing the Eldar project now. Like, we're gonna redesign this. We're gonna redesign this. We're gonna redesign this, and then they release them. Like, it doesn't matter when they release them, but they start the project all together, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, so everything's uniform. We can compare notes.
Yeah. So I think that like, wow, it would be nice to think that because the Banshees came out 2 years ago, they've been working on Eldar for 2 years since then. I'm pretty sure the whole Eldar line is done, or at least all the Eldar line that they want to release is done. They just haven't decided when to let them out.
I was thinking more of like they've been able to make the tweaks and change to what people have given feedback on. Like,
oh, okay.
Not like the whole way the Banshees came out and they've started to redesign everything else. I think it's more of they've got everything set, but they're gonna like, well, maybe this stuff you want to do a little bit more to, or change something up with it to give them the option for it.
But haven't they told us that their lead time is like 2 to 3 years on a new sculpt?
Yeah, but when it's like little changes and stuff, because obviously it'd be like because making the mold isn't. It depends really on how long it takes them to actually make the mold itself, and having to do all the test casts and everything. So it does depend. Also, we don't know the outside of it and how their project time is. So more leaning to go, I agree with what you're saying. They've designed everything together and gone from there. But it could be they've used it to influence later designs for other armies. Stuff like that, hopefully.
Tom, you were going to say something? What were you?
I was just going to say, like, in terms of if they do think about if they have something planned for release in a year, they sort of, if they do tweak things, they'd have to like consider places like Artel that are doing their own warp spiders. They'll have to sort of think about how they can make them different to them now, as well as different to the old models.
I see. That's the thing. Like, I think Games Workshop is probably aware of Artel. I would assume that Artel doesn't factor into their design decisions. Because I think they like to pretend that Artel doesn't exist unless they can sue them, and Artel's in Russia, so I guess they can't sue them. But that's interesting. I never considered that Games Workshop might look at Artel and be like, hey, we have to make our warp spiders different because now they're going to look like this guy. Because his are really sick. Like, they look... I have some. They're great.
You have some?
Yeah.
One of the ones he's done, I don't like. I can't remember what it is. I think it's the Dark Reapers.
I don't know if I was crazy with those ones.
The Dark
they're
Reapers
like
are
a lot more bone on them. I don't like it.
they're too bony and not so great.
Yeah, that's the one I don't really like. The other ones are good. I just don't like the Dark Reapers. They're just too much bone, and it just
Exactly. They're just not Eldar elegant enough.
yeah.
Oh, Artel's got a cute little Christmas Nurgling. How cute. The only thing I'll warn you about Artel is that I ordered them in April and I think they came in July.
Yeah, they've got a long lead time on orders. What I found, like, great quality. The design and detail was all there,
Yeah,
but it
definitely.
is they are made to order. They basically don't hold anything in stock, and because they're in Russia, it's hard for any sort of like gaming store outside of Russia to be able to have their products on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of restrictions on sending money to Russia and everything else.
Oh, okay.
And Hydrocast as well. Like great sculpts for some of the models, but it's going to be hard to get it in for Russia if you're actually like a gaming store because of.
Well, I think that
limitations.
Hydrocast has a pretty small operation. I think it's just him running it, so that might be a limitation as well.
Yeah, it is just him, but obviously, if he was able to branch out and sell a bit more, they would do it more.
Okay, so I'm just looking at Artel's stuff, and it's very clear that the Dark Reapers were sculpted by someone else.
Okay.
It looks like it was the B team, because they are so different from the rest of the Eldar, and the rest of the Eldar is so good.
Yep.
The Striking Scorpions look a lot like Predator to me.
Which they should.
Which is good. Exactly, thanks, Marco. As they should.
But it's like, here's 2 IPs. Now kiss.
Well, I think that's probably where Games Workshop got them to begin with.
Well, they had so many genius moments, like fusing existing IPs into something new.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That's creativity.
Oh, man. I need to stop looking at Artel. He's got such good stuff.
Yeah. I stopped because otherwise you just spend too much.
Yeah, I got it on like a sale, but I still spent too much.
I haven't yet bought a single miniature from him, but I sure will.
They're good. They're well done.
They're not good, they're great.
Do you like Valhallans?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them.
I know.
The warp spiders are so chunk. I forgot how good they are. Oh, man.
Revenant Ironborn stuff is so tempting. And the other
chair. Stuff. Yeah, I love it. It's called it Mr. Chair.
All right, so I feel like we've gotten off the path. Okay, so I'm aware that Flynn has to go to work tomorrow. Like this is so what I wanted to do. Thank you for reviewing all the 2021 releases. Can you quickly think of what your favorite Xenos thing that we went over is? It doesn't have to be something that was released. It can be the Eldar, anything. Tom, do you want to start? What's your favorite Xenos release from 2021?
Can you go through them again?
Oh shit, I just closed them all. Okay, I'll try. We got the Tau upgrades. We got orcs, Lilith Hesperax, Necron flayed ones. The guy with the D6s, the Necron boy with the D6s, Stoopy Necron boy, Orb Necron boy. That Orc Games Day model. The Eldar box set. Orc Commandos, yes, thank you. All the Orc stuff, the Pain Boss, the Grotsnaga, the kill thing that we all hated, Killrig,
Death Gotters, Boys, the new Mega Boss.
Or the new Eldar models.
I reckon the best thing that got released was the Commando Boys.
All right, good choice. Glenn, what are you saying?
I'm gonna go with Commando Boys as well.
All right, that's 2 for Commando Boys. Marco, what was your favorite Xenos release of the ones we went over?
One for the pointy ears. Let's make it the
nice.
Ranger. I love them.
Yes, and that I would say is a pretty choice.
From the chat, Symbio Joe has gone Orc Doc, and Daka Flaka Flame has gone from the Pain Boss.
Good choice.
Yes.
I want to pick the pointy ears. I want to pick the Orc Commandos, but honestly, it's got to be Grotsnaga. Crazy boy, crazy hair, emaciated.
Good choice.
I think he's my fave.
Unsurprisingly, the Orcs win.
What about other folks in the chat? Hit us up. Tell us what your favorite Xenos releases of 2021 are. Thank you, Symbio Joe and Dakaflak Flame, for already sending some in. And Flynn, do you want to quickly talk about what's rumored for 2022? Because we talked about this Eldar release.
So the release schedule. So this is the bit I was going to talk about earlier about why I don't think NIDs are going to be this edition.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we know Tower in January because they've already said that. We've already got the saying that there's going to be a half Eldar release. There's going to be some aspect warriors that aren't going to come back out. They've already said Chaos.
Sorry, what was that? There's going to be some aspect warriors that aren't going to come out?
Yeah, so if you see the article, not the article, but the post on Reddit that I shared.
I'm just trying to pull it up.
Yeah, it's got the summary of the leaks. So some from Bolter and Chainsaw, some from 4chan, and all that. So I'm mainly going for the one that was on 4chan because that one's the most accurate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones they've gone. After 2022, there's no defined order, but you've got Chaos Space Marines, so you're going to get regular possessed, bikers, chosen, the Warpsmith, cultists, renegade guard, human mutants, possessed mutants, and a cultist standard bearer and a cultist character. So we've already got the chosen and the Warpsmith already coming in the new box set. And with Eldar, said Craftwell Eldar, a massive but incomplete update of Eldar without a specific date in the pipeline. Okay. What I'm thinking it's going to be is the same way they did the Orcs for the Eldar. It's going to happen. So February we're going to see the box set come out.
Yeah. And
then because it's a new war zone, so this is going to be the next 6 months. So over the next 6 months, you're going to get the new Chaos and the Eldar coming because it's Vigilus as the war zone area.
Yeah.
So that's basically that. It's going to be Chaos and Eldar for the next 6 months. So they've said there's going to be SWATs, which obviously take with a pinch of salt whenever someone mentions squats.
Well, but they are doing a lot of like nostalgia 40k now, so squats would be nostalgia 40k. But I don't see them coming out with a codex. I see them being like some like faction you can take with someone else, or maybe they're a kill team or something. I don't know.
That's why I was saying take it with a pinch of salt, because obviously we never know what they're going to do with it. World Eaters, which would come into Chaos. Whenever someone mentions World Eaters, everyone goes Angron straight away. But I don't think it's going to be Angron this time because the storyline isn't there for it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Demons coming out as well. Demons do need a release as well. And then they said Astra Militarum as well. So veterans style of Cadians with 2 new regiments are in the works. It's going to be a new Kassakan, new vehicle designed to fit between the Lehman Russ and the Baneblade, which Tom you mentioned earlier. That's the stuff that's there for it. One of the leaks for the Eldar say a combined Codex Craftwell with Yunari and Harlequins, which could be something they do. The new Avatar of Cain model, which they've basically leaked, not leaked, but they basically had in the room
from?
At the bottom of the page.
Oh, the bottom. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'll just skip to the bottom because a lot of it is just stuff that's already come out for the Black Templars. Shining Spears and Warp Spider Phoenix Lord Plastic. And
Warp Spider Phoenix Lords. Wait. Is that a Warp Spider Phoenix Lord? Or is that Warp Spider, Phoenix Lords? Because shit.
So no, it says Shining Spear. It just said Shining Spear and Warp Spider, Phoenix Lords, plus Barahoth.
Oh, that would be so cool if we got Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. Shit.
Yeah,
it's about time after all those decades.
I know.
Then the next line, plastic Warp Spiders and Swooping Hawks kits. Plastic Shining Spears / Ranger bike dual.
Okay. I gotcha.
Just a snap fit set, like a easy to build bikes, and then you're going to be able to make the next ones that come out later.
Or maybe that is also in this kit and they're just not showing it to us. But maybe you're right that it's easy to build.
It could just be they put the extra sprues in for the Ranger bike, the Shining Spears. They're going to battle focus, like some raw stuff, new Harlequin mechanic, a system very similar to Miracle Dice, -1 on Wraith unit. So there's a bit of raw stuff they put in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because obviously of how they're doing it, with everything with the models to come, that's at least 6 months worth of releases they've announced. could potentially be the whole of 2022, but without giving dates, because you've also got to factor in Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, and all the other stuff that's got to come in between, Necromunda, Specialist Games, all the other stuff. So that looks like it's basically 40k for 2022. And with new editions are on like a 3-year cycle. So it looks like 2023 be 10th edition of Warhammer.
Okay.
And what happened?
Oh, you talked about this before, I think.
Is going to be Nids or Tau as the big bad for the next edition.
Yeah.
And whoever the big bad is.
Sorry, Flynn, what was that, Marco?
So nothing for next year, Flynn?
For Nids. Nothing on this leak.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Whoa.
And so what I think, the only one that really changes the status quo for the Imperium, for storyline wise, is Nids coming in with a bigger invasion. Because Tower doing another expansion doesn't really put pressure on the Imperium to go, we need to fight back. Nids will. And I think as a storyline, they can easily do that and just make Nids the big bad once more. And it also gives them the opportunity to go, ooh, look, Battle for McCrag, you can fight it again.
Well, by that point, they'll have the new Gene Stealers out. They better.
Oh, yeah.
But they should have released those with the Codex, and they didn't. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
But which Codex would they release it with?
Gene Stealer Cult, I was thinking, but it could be with this.
So that's what I think, and also...
Flynn, I hope you're wrong, but I think you're probably right.
Yeah, but the way I'm looking forward to it, if it's true, if I'm right, the magazine subscription that they do for 40k for the next one will mean it's very easy to get lots of cheap Nids.
Yep, that could happen.
So, more conversion potential, but that won't be for till 2024 when they do the magazine, because the magazine, basically the ending of it ties in with the ending of an edition.
So as
you've taught someone,
go ahead.
You taught someone how to play you taught someone how to play 8th edition. By the way, 9th edition is coming out next month. So every rule you've just learned playing the whole time collecting, yeah, that's not the rules anymore.
The funny thing is, for me, I have, as you know, or some of you might know, I've been in a 10-year hiatus. I did nothing for a long time. And I am still waiting for a single awesome Tyranid model coming out for like a long time.
Everyone has been. I think that there will be something. I think that there will be a Tyranid Kill Team box. I think that that's going to be the only Tyranid release, and I think it's probably going to be Lictors. I think that will come out before the next edition.
That would be something.
I think it would be more like this Eldar and Chaos one that's kind of not a big box, and it's not a Kill Team box. It's sort of in between the two.
Yeah.
I think Nids will maybe get something like that.
The only thing is that this box is almost all new models, with the exception of that Forge Fiend or whatever. Whereas normally when they do these boxes, they put one character in it and a bunch of old models.
True.
But I guess they could do that. They could do that for Nids. Because when I think about it, Flynn, and I think about what you're saying, I think about the Necron. The way they did Necron. So they updated certain Necron units for the new box set. And then they updated some other Necron units for a Kill Team box set. And they released other Necron units in and around them. That looks like a good model for Tyranids for next edition.
Yeah, because what happened was Dominus came out. Then the first 2 codexes came out of Space Marines and Necrons. And then the next 2 months of releases was 1 week Space Marines, the next week Necrons, then Space Marines, then Necrons. Until we got to the Kill Team Pariah box, and then it was like, off you guys go, now these other armies.
But who's going to be the other force in there? It's going to be Nids versus... Is going to be more fucking Space Marines?
That's the thing, I don't want it to be Space Marines.
But it's
most likely going to be Space Marines, or Imperial Guard.
Imperial Guard, I think, could be it. because that's an Imperial force. Hopefully that's what it is, because shit, if they've got more new Space Marine models to cram into like months of box releases, I mean, it's got to be. I hope it's Imperial Guard.
They're going to run out of shelf space if they keep doing Space Marines.
Well, they'll just start a separate store. This is the Space Marine store. This is the everything else store.
Yeah, maybe this new guard tank is some kind of flamey tank for dealing with bugs.
Or they just redo catechins, they redo Kasrkin, some other stuff, and they put those in the box. I don't know.
Oh, so catechin will get a redo on that because of what they've in the post, and I think it'll be a full Krieg list because they're working on 2 new lists, but I don't think it's going to be new. It's just new lines of models.
Yep.
And Kasrkin will just get thrown as well. I'm looking forward to the Kasrkin.
Oh, me too. We've talked about this before. I love Kasrkin.
Yeah.
What makes sense to me would be a box the same size as this Eldar and Chaos one that has Nids versus Katkins.
That's what I was expecting. That's what I was hoping for. And
Australia.
To be clear, this box is not a very big box. The Eldar Chaos one. There's not a ton of models in there.
But then again, if it's a starter set, like Indomitus was, or even Dominion, it would be a big box because they'd need to split it up into 3 different levels.
Yeah, so Tom, when you refer to that, are you referring to before the next edition, that box? Or as the next edition box?
When are we expecting the next edition?
Next year. No,
2023? Wait, 2023? Probably summer?
Yeah, about September time.
I reckon they'll do something for Nids before then.
I'd be pleasantly surprised if it was that big a box, Tom. I honestly think it's going to be either a character like they've been doing for other guys. Oh, here's one little new character, or it's Kill Team. And for Kill Team, I'm expecting either Gene Stealers, the new Gene Stealer kit, or with some options, or the Lictors.
Or both.
No, that'd be too good. Because
yeah.
I'm trying to base it on like the model we've seen for the 2 Kill Team boxes. They could break that, but so far we've seen 1 squad versus 1 squad, and I don't know that. And then I picture those boxes will be released separately. That there'll be like a Kasrkin box, there'll be an Orc Blood Axe box, and then the like sister thing, and then the like Tau thing.
So I think some cool Gene Stealers with.
I think cool Gene Stealers with good options, because they've already got the new Gene Stealer sculpts. We saw them in 2016.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be those sculpts with some options. That's my prediction in a Kill Team box, because then it could be Gene Stealer Cult or Tyranids.
Yeah.
I think this is the first box with the Eldar and the Chaos since Forgebane where it is 90% of everything in the box is new.
That's cool. I'm glad to see that.
I think that's the case. I'm not 100% sure because I know basically all the Necrons were new, but the Adeptus Mechanicus I think were basically the same as what they had already.
Yeah.
But
dudes, I'm gonna head off now.
I am falling asleep, and it's 5 p.m. here, so I think we should call this.
Yeah.
It's 10:20.
Yeah, and Flynn's got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
11. I'm dead on my feet right now.
Well, this has been a marathon.
I've got one thing else to add first.
Flynn,
remember
you're pushing
to like and subscribe.
Oh, please like and subscribe, because these marathons where we go off about 3D sculpting and text to speech, that happens all the time, and you want to make sure you're subscribed so you get more of this junk. But hopefully you guys.
It does look like it, but this is hard work, people. This is hard work.
You know, flapping our gums, our gums. I look forward to the 2022 Xenos review. Hopefully you all join me again, and we'll be talking about all the glorious Eldar models that were released, and it'll be so hard to pick your favorite. But yeah, hopefully people enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking with the 3 of you, so thank you all so much. And you can look forward to us getting back to like a normal kind of creature conference time in the new year, maybe 1st or 2nd week of January. I'll talk to the crew and see what they think. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you want. And we'll be back very soon. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good ride into 2022. Bye-bye.
Good ride in
Bye.
22. Bye-bye.
Make the jump. You know you want to.
Into 2022? What?
Oh,
What jump?
into the next year?
Ah, okay.
I mean, it's nearly done.
All right. And we're ending the stream.